Freeman on a free kick for Gotham. Curls that one middle of the box towards the spot. Joseph, transition chance now for Chicago. Curran makes a run, so does Bike. Joseph just taking it herself. Jamise Joseph shoots, and it's stopped. Miller with the denial.
Wow. Wow. What a run from Jamise Joseph. That was absolutely brilliant. I thought for a second it was going to be the winning goal as well. He spoke about how good she is, but she did what Mel Swanson does, took on the whole team virtually, ran an entire half of the pitch. Just couldn't finish it off.
We'll thought maybe she was going to go wide with that, with two players flanking her, but she didn't need to because she beat everybody. Here comes a corner for the Red Stars. Some confusion on that one for Chicago. But there's the whistle to end regulation. We are going to a shootout. No score between Chicago and Gotham. Here's that last chance for the Red Stars.
Great starts, 15 yards in her own half. She's out sprinting the defenders chasing her, goes past the center back, has another touch. I tell you what, in the end, I give Cassie Miller credit. That's a decent shot, and it was a good save from the goalkeeper.
Well, we're gonna have a penalty shootout on the other side between Gotham and Chicago. Stick with us, we'll be back on CBS Sports Network.
Car dealership again?
Yeah, we're just haggling over the price. It's all part of the game, it's fine.
Sue, was it fine being a WNBA champ once? No, you won it 3 more times.
But it's fine to haggle? Well, you could just go to CarMax where everyone gets the same price.
You're right. Stop calling me!
Did I call the right number? I was just trying to see if you were coming to the game tonight. Or not.
Oh, Chanae! Hey, yeah, I'll be there.
Never settle on the lot or on the court. CarMax.
Olays, 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 olays.
Olays, 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 olays.
Like the city boys up one. Fade away, full course, left step, son. Both in the when he get that
I love this jacket. You'll never find it.
Get it. I don't know her name, but she fit in with the other bad women in the section. Where I provided direction. Straight face gang got me feeling like a henchman. Hey, let me vibe for a minute. Hey, way too high when I'm in it. Hey, let me vibe.
For a limited time, shop Pixel's Summer of Savings event at
How do you cash back? How do you cash back? How do you cash back? How do you cash back?
With verified reviews, I was relaxed before I even got here.
Witness the greatness of Anna Hall and the rest of Team USA wherever you are with Xfinity Mobile. Now with Wi-Fi speeds up to 1 gig on the go. And right now, buy 1 unlimited line and get 1 free for a year. Get the fastest connection to Paris with Xfinity.
Remember those wise guys who were itching to take over your turf? We helped make that little problem disappear. Get away with murder with the Advantage family. We put a hit on pet parasites.
Ain't that an itch?
Aphrodite.
Native's moisturizing lotion restores dry skin with plant-based moisturizers and niacinamide. A clean lotion that restores dry skin isn't a myth. Shop Native today.
Your garage on Cars.com lets you track your car's value, so you'll be in the driver's seat for whatever's next.
Who get it done.
Welcome back to SeatGeek Stadium. It's the first penalty shootout in Summer Cup history, Chicago and Gotham. Well, for those of you tuning in for the CFL game between Toronto and Hamilton. You will be able to find it streaming free on the CBS Sports app or at cbssports.com/CBSSN as soon as it tips off. And of course, we'll get you there immediately after the conclusion of this game. So, Gotham and Chicago have both earned a point already just by drawing in this game. If whoever wins will earn an extra point, so they'll walk away with 2 on this penalty shootout. So this is kind of how the point system works here in Summer Cup.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think it's very, very fair. And it's nice for the team. I say it's nice. You don't want to lose on PKs, but traditionally, if you lose, you get nothing. And here, at least you get the point for the draw, so that's some benefit. And as both coaches said, and I think Juan Carlos Amorós in particular, I want to see my players under this sort of pressure, penalties, see how they cope with it. It's a good experience. Obviously, it doesn't happen as often as it probably does in European soccer, so it's a good chance to know what it's like to walk up on your own. All the focus on you, all the hopes of the fans and your teammates. It's certainly is a pressure cooker situation.
Well, as a keeper, what are you thinking in this moment?
Just put the pressure on the strikers. As a keeper, there's a lot less pressure on you. You know, one of the keepers is going to be a hero, Mackenzie Wood or Cassie Miller. So you want to put the pressure back on. So, you might sort of say a few vaguely unpleasant things to the opposition. You might try and slow it down. You might move along your line, left and right, try and confuse them. The pressure certainly is more on the striker than the goalkeeper.
Chicago will start. Ali Schlegel up to take this. It's Miller in net. Schlegel hits.
Good penalty. Power in the corner. Yeah, she's pumped up. The crowd love it. Gets you off to a good start, doesn't it? It's a very positive vibe if you get to take the first penalty. But she picks her spot, and even though Cassie Miller goes the right way, the power and strength of the shot doesn't give the goalkeeper the chance to get to the ball. You'd have to dive very early as a keeper to reach that penalty.
For Gotham, it's Yasmin Ryan. She's had a lot of opportunities over the course of this game. Can she convert on this penalty? Yes! We're even now.
That was met with a little bit less enthusiasm from the crowd and even from Yasmin Ryan, just a little smile. Got her head up here. Does she wait and see which way the keeper goes? No, her head is down, so she'd picked her spot either way. A lot of penalty takers these days walk up slowly. They wait to see if the keeper moves early, and if the keeper doesn't, they just stick it in the corner. It's a high level of skill, if you can do it.
Hannah Anderson now for Chicago. The rookie, Money.
Another good penalty. Anytime you go the opposite way to the keeper, then you've done well. Again, her head is down, so she's not looking at the keeper. She's just deciding that's my corner and I'm going for it.
Ella Stevens, former Red Star, steps up in a big moment. Stevens scores. Some power to that one.
Power and positioning right up towards that top corner. She scored the winner when they met earlier this season. I just wondered for a second if the Fates would pick her out as to be the one to miss, but not at all. Buries that one, and again, Mackenzie Wood choosing the right way, just can't get close to the ball.
Well, again, if you're tuning in for the CFL game between Toronto and Hamilton, it's underway and is now available streaming free on the CBS Sports app or at cbssports.com/CBSSN. We'll get you there as soon as this one is done. Bike. Miller. Jenna Bike. Yes! Everybody's making their penalties here.
A bit of a masterclass here in penalty taking. But you know what? It just needs one good save or one miss-hit penalty or one that hits the post and comes out to settle this competition. So for all the smiles and that, there's still plenty of tension.
Who's going to falter first? Delee Sheehan now for Gotham. Sheehan hits that one too.
Thought for a second there, Mackenzie Wood might have just got her fingertips to that. She picks the right way. There's smiles from the Gotham players, but have a look at this again. Does she touch it on the way past? Yeah, but I think it was behind her already, so even if she got a fingertip to it, there was no strength in the arm. She already passed where the ball was going.
Shea Groom now for Chicago. This the 4th penalty for the Red Stars against Cassie Miller. Groom, saved! Miller denies.
That could be the one, just that one moment when the goalkeeper picks the right way, you don't put enough power on it. You've seen some good penalties, the goalkeeper had no chance. That one was a lot softer. Gives the goalkeeper time to get across. If you pick the right direction, you've got every chance of saving that. Well done, Cassie Miller.
Katie Stengel. Trying to give Gotham the advantage. Stengel does!
Yep, well taken. Again, there's enough force in that to make sure that it's extremely difficult to save. So, all the pressure now on Chicago. They have to score this one from Julia, and they have to make a save if they're to continue this into the knockout phase of penalties.
Bianchi. Miller. Bianchi. Cool, calm, and collected.
Another good penalty, high with enough power and pace. But here, she's pumping up the crowd to try and put some pressure on the final penalty taker for Gotham. So, Mackenzie Wood has got to come up with some magic here.
Here comes Kristen Edmonds for Gotham. Her first appearance of 2024. She could help Gotham walk away with an extra point here in Summer Cup play. Edmonds sinks.
That's a good finish under all sorts of pressure. Welcome back, Kristen Edmonds. Lovely to see you, not just playing, but having an impact on the game. Just that one penalty save, and that's the one that gives Gotham the extra point here tonight.
Well, that's going to do it for our entire crew. Edmonds the hero late in the shootout as Gotham walks away with an extra point here in Summer Cup play against Chicago. Thank you so much for tuning in from our entire crew. From Gary Bailey, I'm Maura Sheridan saying so long. Have a great night, everyone.
Asia, your car's small.
It's a little cramped, but it's fine.
Fine? When you became MVP once, was that fine? No, you did it twice.
They built you a statue.
But you're fine with this tiny car when you could just sell it to CarMax?
You're right. It's not fine.
I can't feel my legs.
Never settle on the lot or on the court. CarMax.
Olays, 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 olays.
Olays.
Olays, olays,
Olays, olays, olays.
I love my kids, but I also love not being broke. So this back-to-school season, I'm just gonna spend less on them. Amazon has low prices on everything kids need. Like a water bottle they definitely won't lose. Tablets, sports stuff, for whatever sport this is. All the latest, lit, Rizzy Riz clothes. And lunch boxes for a homemade meal that they'll barely touch.
What?
So spend less on your little freeloaders with Amazon.
Whoa, 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 hold on. What have you done?
I borrowed some adamantium from your claws, and I made us something special. Yeah.
Heineken Silver. All the taste, no bitter endings. you want to close out?
Should I? Normally I'd hold, but taking the gains is smart here, right?
Feel more confident with stock ratings from JP Morgan analysts in the Chase app. When you've got a decision to make, the answer.
Happy birthday, Marty. Oh, no, you don't. Let me get this.
Ah, thanks. You're too kind.
I've heard that.
Unlimited 2% cash back. The Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card.
Question: how do you smell your best? Bar soap or body wash?
Ready?
There's a new day dawning that belongs to you and me.
Everything comes down to this moment.
What a way to start it off. Bring home the gold. The greatest female swimmer of all time. Wow.
Welcome back, Simone Biles.
Buy iPhone 12 with super fast 5G and a dual camera system. Then get real unlimited data on the Silver Unlimited plan for just $20 a month for a whole year. That's $300 in savings. Less dollars, more cents. Now with Straight Talk.
The Asphalt. Catch up now on Paramount Plus.
Keep going. Took a good route there, going for the ball, not the kicker, and sets the Ticats up.
Well, Levi Mitchell hands it off right down the pipe. The Butler did it. Touchdown Ticats.
Well, we talked about the Ticats need to get off to a fast start and talked about the need for the numbers to come from someone other than Bo Levi Mitchell. Special teams sets him up. And right here, short field. Great job by the offensive line. Nice work by the center, David Beard. And James Butler is in for the game's opening touchdown. Just under 4 minutes into this ballgame, Marsh.
Two things, Dwayne, that they talked about and preached leading up to this game. Slow starts here in Hamilton, and Scott Milanich mentioned we're just not blocking things up properly. Well, two birds, one play. Right there for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Block it up, get a rushing touchdown. Complimentary football with special teams factoring in. The defense got him off the field in the first place, but this man, James Butler, punches it in for the early Hamilton advantage.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking about our honeymoon. What about Africa? Safari. Hot air balloon ride. Swim with elephants. Wait, can we afford a safari?
Great question. Like everything, takes a little planning.
Or put the money towards a down payment
On a ranch
in Montana.
with horses.
Let's take a look at those scenarios.
JP Morgan Wealth Management has advisors in Chase branches and tools like Wealth Plan to help keep you on track. When you're planning for it all, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Backbone One. Turn your mobile phone into a gaming console. No console required.
It's so easy to get your windshield replaced using SafeLight. Tell the people why you haven't done it. Started off as a chip, and it just keeps going. So what do we do now? I've scheduled an appointment at SafeLight.com.
SafeLight Repair.
SafeLight Replace.
Yes! SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
No application fee if you apply by August 29th at University of Maryland Global Campus, an accredited university that's transformed adult lives for 75 years. You're not waiting to win. You're ready to succeed again at umgc.edu.
The freshest milk. 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 Check. The freshest bread. The freshest bread. The freshest bread, the freshest bread, the freshest.
There he is, JB9, James Butler into the end zone. He punches it in, but it all happened because of this. What a block by Antti Litre, Dwayne, to get things rolling here for Hamilton.
Yeah, manages to come free straight to that block point. elevates and gets it done, and then James Butler and some fine work by that Hamilton offensive line. Get the Cats on the board first.
Dennis McKnight, special teams coordinator, brought in here to take over the top job on special. Never afraid to throw a kiss or two around the sidelines. Make sure everybody knows how much they're appreciated. So Litre plays the hero, and there is Coach McKnight, one of the more entertaining characters, dare say, across all of football, as he loves the way that his team has begun this game. As Janarian Grant would love to change the pace of this football game right now with a big return. Looks down the near sideline once again and gets pushed out of bounds up around the 32-yard line. As we take a look at Cam Duke's performance last week against the Montreal Alouettes in a victory.
Yeah, big divisional win, of course, for the Toronto Argonauts to end that tremendous run by the Montreal Alouettes. Not huge numbers. You talked about it, Marsh. It was a quick passing game, a couple of very strategically selected bigger plays in that game, but I mean, that is not the game plan, right? Limit the risk.
With Cody Fajardo out of that game last week, the defense for the Argonauts really were the ones that played hero and got them to that victory. As Dukes looked like he was going to pump it. He throws, he runs, it gets popped as Nick Usher walks over the top of him after a huge hit. And Dukes gets up a little sideways, but looks no worse for wear.
Yeah, watch Usher, bottom of your screen, left defensive end. He just retraces his steps as the quarterback starts working upfield. Catches Dukes looking the other way.
Good clean hit. I gotta say, now that we're at the third mark of the CFL season, I'm watching that game with Winnipeg. People are hitting all of a sudden. There's a lot of contact is right through the middle. You see Kadeem Carey pick up the first down after Dukes earns it. Let's look at this Hamilton Tiger Cats defense. It's been struggling a little bit on the young side on the back end.
Yeah, well, see if you can follow the theme here. Former Argos, Brandon Barlow and Dwayne Hendricks on the D-line. Former Argo Trevor Hoyt. Got some looks at the weak side linebacker. But former Argo, Jamal Peters, manning the boundary corner. And note, Stavros Katsantonis, who was a game-time decision, out of the game. First-year man Rob Panabaker gets the start at free safety for Hamilton tonight.
For Katsantonis, 5 knockdowns, leads the Canadian Football League, so they will miss him, but we'll see how Panabaker plays his pressure on, and down goes Dukes. Speaking of former Argos.
Yes, sir. We were friends last year, but now I'm hunting you, buddy. Dwayne Hendricks from his defensive tackle spot. Getting after it. Just quickness in space beats Gregor McKellar. Find his way into the backfield and to the quarterback.
That is a big man at 6'4", 270. Moving quick like that. As Hendricks tees off again to try and get home to Dukes, this time completed outside. That'll be Richie Sindani, the University of Calgary Dinos product, making the grab. And it'll be a gain of about 10, 11 yards on the play, but third down, and out comes the punting unit, trying to redeem themselves from the block of just a few minutes ago.
And so far, so good for the Hamilton Tiger Cats defensively, getting that second and extra long situation. They're basically able to sit back a little bit, give up the underneath stuff, come up and make a tackle. Well executed.
Guessing that Fraser Sopik doesn't go too far outside his frame on this one. It stays square and they get it away. Haggerty sends it down the field. Harris will receive it at his own 14-yard line. Makes the man miss. And then Teodric Hansen is there to clean up the mess. A 47-yard punt as Bo Levi Mitchell, fastest pace of his career, the fastest he's ever gotten beyond 1,500 yards. 96 straight interception-free attempts. We'll see what he can do when we return to Hamilton.
This is a story about the one. USPS Ground Advantage. Here you go. Un advantage para tu negocio.
Wait, is that my boyfriend from college? Ready for the big finale?
Witness the greatness of Anna Hall and the rest of Team USA wherever you are with Xfinity Mobile. Now with Wi-Fi speeds up to 1 gig on the go. And right now, buy one unlimited line and get one free for a year. Get the fastest connection to Paris with Xfinity.
Find your next possibility on Cars.com. Where to next?
It's so easy to get your windshield replaced using Safelite. Tell the people why you haven't done it. It started off as a chip and it just keeps going. So what do we do now? I've scheduled an appointment at Safelite.com.
Safelite repair. Safelite replace.
Yes! Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
One a day. Science that matters.
Levi Mitchell and his performance to start this season, it's been pretty special against the BC Lions. He was going shot for shot back and forth with Vernon Adams Jr.
A little dueling Eastern Washington product pivots in that ball game.
Once every week in the CFL.
Well, it kind of is, isn't it? But, you know, I mean, you look at Bo's numbers, and I talk about the 300-yard games. Part of that is circumstance, right? They got to throw the ball because they're playing from behind a lot.
Well, trap reverse here for Hamilton to kick off this drive. Creative play that time. Gets the ball into the hands of Devon Harris after he's had so much success joining up on the return unit.
Yeah, now that he's been with the Cats for a couple of weeks, starting to try to get Harris, the primary returner, involved a little bit on offense. In what I would call the, can I call it the stereotypical CFL way? Yeah? Is that fair?
Get hogs ready.
Robert Priester makes the tackle there, leaves 2 yards. As the fullback, James Tuck, is in for Hamilton. They'll hand it off to James Butler, the touchdown maker. And not much of a push that time off the left side. Argos front was ready for us as big Jake Serezna in the lineup and making plays. He's the last Argonaut back onto his feet.
Yeah, you mentioned Serezna sat out last week due to injury, but Argos obviously thrilled to have him back in, adding to that depth in the interior of that defensive line. Great in combination with Jared Brinkman, former Edmonton Elk, acquired in the Curly Gittins trade in the offseason.
Constantino comes out at a Texas A&M. Just your typical 6'3", 225-pound punter. That's ready to launch this one away. Janarian Grant, 84-yard punt return touchdown a few weeks ago in Saskatchewan. This one will bounce behind Grant, overran it, and he'll pick it up just outside of his 10, try and make something with it, but the coverage is perfect from Hamilton. Early advantage on specials clearly goes to the Hamilton Tiger Cats as we look at Kadeem Carey as he takes his place back in the huddle on the field here and what he's been able to do recently.
Yeah, Kadeem Carey has been so important to this Toronto Argonaut attack as we talk about trying to put a young quarterback in a comfortable situation. They're able to play to the strengths of Cameron Dukes when they're able to run the ball well. Carey obviously has been very good in the ground game behind that veteran Argos offensive line.
Flag down on the field here, or a challenge. It's actually come out.
Objectionable conduct.
Oh.
Hamilton, number 43. It's a 10-yard misconduct penalty. Be a first down.
And it looked like that was Carthel Flowers-Lloyd who actually made the special teams tackle on that last play, but maybe celebrated a little bit too hard, so they give a penalty for it. Ed Hervey down there, the general manager on the sideline, has a word.
Flowers-Lloyd, who was such a terror on special teams for the Ticats as a rookie last season.
Yeah, right from the get-go as a CFLer, you could tell he was made for special teams here up north. Handoff inside, just mentioned Kadeem Carey. He plunges his way forward for a solid chunk that time on first down. He'll be right up next to the first down markers looking at made.
We talk about it all the time, but that ability to run the ball successfully, A, Obviously putting you in these manageable second and shorts, not forcing you into passing situations, not putting a strain on your O-line because you're allowing them to be aggressive in the run game as opposed to having to kind of sit back and take it as pass blockers.
Yeah, well, speaking of taking it, Cam Dukes on that sneak rolled his way to the right-hand side, and waiting right there for him was the man talking, Kyle Wilson. Gave him a couple extra jabs. 3rd and 1, they didn't get it last time. Dukes tries to lean his way to the right. I don't think he got much of anything here. We'll see where they spot it. But Hamilton's defense,
a little bit of familiarity breeding contempt with so many former Argos on the Ticat D.
Quick game this time, catch by Tavares Daniels, goes for a gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
Yeah, just a quick hitter here from Tavares Daniels. Middle receiver as they go trips to that wide side. Rasheed Bailey into block.
Talk a lot about Cam Dukes being conservative with the football, but simple little reads like that, trying to hold linebackers, open up throwing windows, and get 7 yards on 1st down. That's why they had success and started 2-0. As now Dukes will hand it off, Carey running hard. And it looks like he'll get just enough to move the sticks once again. Hamilton defense hitting in between the tackles. Wilson fired up, came into the game 31 tackles. That's 5th in the CFL. Carey's going to have to deal with him all night.
Yeah, the Ticat defense is going to rely on Kyle Wilson, quite frankly, and there's been so much turnover on this Hamilton D, particularly in the front 7. Kyle Wilson, though, a guy who's not been a full-time starter in the past. Fact is, as a Hamilton Tiger Cat, he's one of their most experienced defenders.
Says a lot about the lack of veteran leadership, some changeover here for the Hamilton Tiger Cats on defense, but the youth and exuberance makes a great play in from behind that time. It's Brandon Barlow chasing it down as the Hamilton Tiger Cats linebackers, Dwayne, and the amount of bodies they've changed over and where they've come from.
Yeah, and we'll start on the right side of the screen here, and you look at the experience they had at linebacker last season. These are the numbers as of the end of the year. Simone Lawrence, Chris Edwards having retired, Jameer Thurman, now a Saskatchewan Rough Rider, over 300 career starts. Jonathan Moxey, 45 of the 56 career starts among all the linebackers dressed today, and most of his starts came at corner in Calgary, not in the box.
Duke stands in, fires one over the middle of the field as Panabaker makes the tackle. It's Rasheed Bailey on the grab. It will be short of the sticks, but again, not much work left to do, so it looks like they'll keep the offense out there.
Yeah, the Argos continuing to chip away. Dukes gets good protection. Bailey just able to body out Rob Panabaker to make that catch.
Late decision, but they do see it as 2 full yards to go. So Dukes in the offense to the sideline. Will be John Haggerty, the global, ready to boot this one away. That's a tough catch for Rasheed Bailey, running at full speed into a tight window. A laser from Dukes, catches it, but just didn't have the momentum to get the 1st down yardage. So Harris will receive the punt just outside his 10-yard line. Finds a little bit of breathing room, heads to the wide side. If he beats this man, he might have the numbers needed. Turns on the wheels, and there is, speaking of globals, the big man, Dedrick Hansen. Chases him down, defensive lineman in the open field, but what a great return once again for Harris. 37 big ones, and again, special teams, the story in this 1st quarter as Hamilton leads 7-0 over the rival Argos.
It's so easy to get your windshield replaced using SafeLight. Tell the people why you haven't done it. Started off as a chip, and it just keeps going. So what do we do now? I've scheduled an appointment at SafeLight.com.
SafeLight Repair. SafeLight Replace.
Yes! SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
University of Maryland Global Campus is a school for real life, one that values the successes you've already achieved. Earn up to 90 undergraduate credits for relevant experience, and get the support you need from your first day to graduation day and beyond. What will your next success be?
Make the bunny circle over and under.
Get one bunny.
Pull.
Did you just do it?
You did it. Let me see. I gotta look.
When something is off, it can feel hard to hide.
I just learned I'm losing my hair.
At Hims, you don't have to hide. You can find treatments for weight loss, ED, mental health, and hair loss. Made with doctor-trusted ingredients. Prescribed 100% online. Get started today at Hims.com.
Hamilton Tiger-Cat seasons have not started very well over the last couple of years. It seems like we're always talking about this sort of stuff in mid-July. Well, Scott Milanovich, that's his job to fix. With more, here's Paul Lapalisse.
One of the hardest things as a head coach is to lose a game and then go on a bye week. You're trying to have a little time with family and vacation, but all you're thinking about is what you have to do to win the games. Scott, I talked to him this week. He had a couple of days that he could spend some time, but then he really had a great point. He has to make sure that I come back with the answers for our success. His 2 points offensively, he wanted to make sure how they can start. You heard everybody talk about how do they start faster by making sure they don't get any penalty situations. And defensively, they needed to be nice. They wanted to be simpler for everybody so the players can fly around and have less defensive packages in there.
Thank you, Lapo. As Bo Levi Mitchell looks to throw this time over the top of Fraser Silva, completed and sliding down. But after a great catch and run, Tim White, and that'll certainly help them continue this quicker than usual start inside the final minute of the first quarter after a gain of 17.
Yeah, nice touch on this ball from Bo Levi Mitchell. See the Ticats maxing it up in protection, trying to give them time to allow this one to develop. Just dropping it in behind the linebackers.
Royce Mechie gets credit for the tackle there as he tapped down Tim White. As Mitchell, play action, deeper drop, loads it up, comes backside this time, and it is caught. That's Stephen Dunbar Jr. inside the 20. They go as Dunbar, his best work done here in black and gold before leaving for Edmonton. He's back, and Hamilton's offense is in a rhythm.
And here's Stephen Dunbar lined up out wide, top of your screen. Motion down to give himself a little bit of space before breaking it back to the outside. Nice route from the veteran receiver. Spent last season in Edmonton after starting his career as a Ticat. Happy to have his size and experience back in this receiving corps.
Bo Levi Mitchell came in 16 of 21 here inside the score zone, inside the 20. They can add to that tally, but little to no gain that time. Little check down underneath, and who else? Wynton McManus there to make the tackle. Came in with 20.9% of Toronto's tackles. That leads the CFL. But right now, it's the Hamilton Tiger-Cats leading the Toronto Argonauts 7-0 after 1 quarter of play. Much more ahead here from the Hammer.
My ED definitely made me feel broken. It would work, then it wouldn't work. Prior to HIMS, I was taking an as-needed dose, so we would have to plan. That takes the romance completely out of the relationship. HIMS was a fantastic find. The low-dose daily has given room for spontaneity in our relationship, and that is golden for us as a couple. Get treatment for ED with doctor-trusted medication. Get started today at hims.com.
The freshest milk, 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 check. The freshest bread, the freshest bread, the freshest bread, the freshest bread, the freshest.
At Domino's, we know there's a lot of pressure to tip these days.
Great set, bro. Now take a look at this screen real quick.
Which is why we want to say
thanks for the tip
by tipping you back. Tip your driver $3 or more online and we'll tip you $3 to use on next week's order.
Welcome back to Hamilton. The numbers after 1 quarter of play. They don't overly tell the story, though, because the hardest thing, outside of maybe offensive line play in the CFL game, to actually equate special special teams and the influence that they can have. Scott Milanovic, you heard from Paul Lapalisse, our sideline reporter, he knew as the head coach he had to come back out of the bye week with answers. You have to give those to your team. Well, I think the first one he probably gave them was, guys, can our special teams please try to find a way to help us? And they have here early on.
Yeah, absolutely huge play from Ante Litre to get the blocked punt. Miscue, obviously, by the Toronto Argonauts in terms of their blocking scheme. But he takes advantage of it. Veteran guy kind of setting the tone for that special teams group. And I think that is the formula for success for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Obviously, as we talked about off the top, Bo can still throw the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Don't want to have to rely on Bo throwing the ball for wins.
There's a reason he had 48 attempts against the BC Lions last week as he'll look to throw here once again on 2nd and 8. Checks it down. James Butler tries to make Whitten McManus miss. And that rare feat is accomplished, but the amount of time it took in order to try and run away from Whitten, everybody else from Toronto was right there to bring him down.
Yeah, Mitchell looking deep. Shamar Bridges came open late. But by that point, Bo had settled for that check down to James Butler. As mentioned, Butler over 100 yards receiving last week.
They'll kick this one away from 20 yards out. Shifted the tee forward at the last second there, so an easy one for Mark Leggio. Great hold, getting it down. Up and through, and the lead extends 10-0 now. Don't miss the return of the global phenomenon critics call thrilling and endlessly captivating. HBO's House of the Dragon. The new season is streaming now, only on Crave. Watching this special teams unit to begin the second quarter, pick up where they left off in the first quarter. It does really make you think about what Bo said this week of, if you watch Cody Fajardo, what's the biggest difference between him at this time last year and the way he's playing this year when healthy after the Grey Cup and all the rest? Confidence. Yeah. Well, why does he have confidence? Because everybody around him is making plays, and it's not that Bo was throwing anybody under the bus, but he was just saying, we all got to start making plays, and then we'll all start believing in each other. Well, this has been a huge help.
Yeah, I mean, we talk so much about wins and losses as a quarterbacking statistic. Wins and losses are very much a team thing. Quarterback wins, not a lot of good quarterbacks playing on bad teams getting wins.
There's not a lot of good things on the platform formerly known as Twitter, but one of the best things is the saying, wins are not a quarterback stat.
Yeah.
that ends up on my timeline about 50 times every college football Saturday, and it is very true. So Bo believes that the entire team needs to try and help out, and he's going to do his part to make that happen as well, as Mark Leggio has it on the tee. Spins this one down to the 20-yard line. Janarian Grant crosses the 30. It's Litre, almost makes the tackle. And now the special teams unit rallies just shy of the 35. Some great battles here on special teams on the return units. I expect to see those carry over into a hotly contested Labor Day Classic down the road.
The always dangerous Janarian Grant getting all sorts of extra attention from the Hamilton special teams unit. Linebacker DQ Thomas in on the tackle.
It's the first time Hamilton has had a lead after the first quarter of a football game this year. Also of note, the last 5 games, Hamilton-Toronto, Hamilton has never held a lead. Wire-to-wire wins in 5 straight for the Argonauts. As now DeVaris Daniels didn't get the cadence. Daniel Adebaboye has the football in his hands, but this snap never happened.
Offside. Toronto number 15. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Well, Mackay Polk takes the rap.
I think he's shaking his head saying, it wasn't me.
Yeah, you see him in the slot. The hands coming up. I thought you said on one.
Well, him and Daniels, somehow both slot backs on both sides weren't on the same page as Cameron Duke, so it sets them back. 1st and 15. 4-man rush. Duke looks to his right. comes back middle, pressure on, feels it, evades Hendricks, now throws it to the sideline. Richard Leonard went hunting, thought he might be able to reach that one in time, but incomplete, 2nd and 15.
Yeah, Cats happy to get Richard Leonard back in the lineup, providing a little bit more experience. You see Duke starting off on the scramble, recognizing he's in a little bit of trouble, throwing that one to the sidelines to protect the field position.
Wayne Hendricks does not seem fun to block tonight. He is all over the place. This Hamilton secondary would love to get their hands on more footballs, struggle to do so, especially without Stavros Katsantonis in the lineup. Snap comes up, bit of an awkward pace there to start this play, and now just a check down out of a boy. A lot of work to do. Jamal Peters, open field tackle, the former Argo brings down out of a boy.
Well, Jamal Peters, noted ball hawk throughout his CFL career, showing off his tackling skills here. Coming up to close on Adeboboye, limiting him to a short gain and forcing the Argos into this punting situation.
Toronto kicks it away once again. Spiraling boot drops down to Harris. 24-yard line, has a little bit of room. Slides his way through traffic and almost had that football ripped out after a 50-yard punt as John Haggerty continues to have an exceptional season kicking the football. The heat and humidity of the hammer on full display on Saturday night. CFL on TSN.
At Domino's, we've heard in focus groups that some people don't love our classic crust.
Too doughy.
It's not thin enough.
So here's another pizza.
All the ingredients come together.
And so what if I told you this was Domino's?
Good for Domino's, for real.
Introducing Domino's New York style pizza. Try it tonight.
Backbone One, PlayStation Edition. Enhance your gaming experience on mobile.
It's so easy to get your windshield replaced using Safelite. Tell the people why you haven't done it. Started off as a chip, and it just keeps going. So what do we do now? I've scheduled an appointment at Safelite.com.
Safelite Repair. Safelite Replace.
Yes!
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
This is 9 there with Royce Mechie dragging him down from behind. Is Milanovich's record over the last while here as you see his season by season. A lot of success, creative mind certainly in the Canadian Football League, but the record over the last 2 seasons, they're 5-13, 0-5. That's tough.
Yeah, obviously a difficult start. One of the things that the Tiger Cats are looking at, only 0-1 within the East Division, and obviously given the playoff format, that serves as motivation for them as they look to turn things around.
One-on-one battle that time, won by the Argonauts as Reggie Franklin defends Shamar Bridges. Again, trying to go back to that isolated matchup. They'd love to get Bridges increasingly involved in this aerial attack, but can't complete that one. As Bo Levi Mitchell and the Ticats offense 0 of 4 now on second down conversions.
Yeah, they got that fast start on the scoreboard, certainly fast start out of special teams. Offense still trying to kick it into gear here.
Argonauts punt return unit up front, biding their time. Constantino sends it down the field. Janarian Grant catches it at his 18-yard line. Stutter steps, and again, coverage units right there on the spot. The umbrella is working tonight as Felix Garon-Gauthier makes the tackle. Kadeem Carey, they're asking for more out of him this season in double blue. Signed on a free agency, a natural fit, he thought, here in Toronto. It has shown thus far, one of the league leaders in rushing yards.
Why do couples choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can it keep me warm when I'm cold?
Wait, no, I'm always hot.
Sleep Number does that.
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Sleep Number does that.
Can it help us sleep better and better?
Please.
Sleep Number does that.
94% of smart sleepers report better sleep. And
And now, free home delivery on select smart beds when you add an adjustable base. Sleep Number smart beds starting at $9.99. Shop now at sleepnumber.com.
Your pain shouldn't be minimized or forgotten. When medicine gets better, all of us can get better.
I know it's not easy dealing with us.
We make sure everyone knows that we're important business people.
And treat our seat like a personal spa.
Snickers.
Sorry.
When the sawdust settles and the engine roars, the thing you care about is a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels different. Your wallet. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Plenty of fresh faces on the Hamilton Tiger Cats defense trying to work things through, talk it over, injuries, all the rest. Let's go down to Paul Lapalisse with more on the Hamilton defense finding its groove.
What Scott talked about was trying to keep it.
Thanks, Lapo. Kadeem Carey in the backfield here as a completion. Looks like that's Rasheed Bailey making the grab and getting rolled up on by Thomas, who is one of those fresh faces in defense. And Thomas slow up onto his feet as DQ needs a moment to gather himself on the sidelines.
As he does that, I just want to follow up on Lapo's thought about this Hamilton defense. And yeah, this has been one of the things. There's been so much turnover, so much change for this group.
But the ball is out. I didn't hear any whistles. Hamilton heads back the other way. Touchdown, Tiger Cats. Special teams got the block punt. Defense making plays on the aerial attack of the Argonauts early on, and now Cam Dukes, who was a little bit worse for wear, got a quarterback sneak earlier on, moving the wheels, spinning them, not going anywhere, and somebody popped this one out, and it's a house call.
Yeah, Kyle Wilson reached out with the left hand before Dukes was down and just slapped that ball out. Duke's still on his feet, driving forward. Wilson stacked in behind the line, reached out with the left hand, slapped the ball free. Destin Talbert scoops it up and takes it to the house. So special teams sets one up. Defense playing fast, as Lapo talked about. A little bit less in terms of the overall defensive package in this week. Less thinking for a somewhat inexperienced group. They come up with a big play there.
So Talbot into the end zone, and you might think after they automatically review the scoring play here, and it is confirmed as a Tiger Cats touchdown with the extra point to count. You think, why is everyone standing around? They're just watching that play happen. Wilson didn't even know he had forced a fumble. I'm watching him on that replay. He pops it out. He's laying on the ground, starts to stand back up. And as he does, Talbert's already halfway to the end zone. So right place, right time, and another bad bounce for the Toronto Argonauts here as their QEW rivals, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, getting play after play, and it leads to a 17-0 advantage midway through the second.
Never before seen matches and new rivalries unlocked.
Trust me, we're just getting started.
The Summer Cup is here. Let these games begin.
Welcome to Sapphire Lounge by the Club. This is more than a place to hide away before you get away. It's a main course before the main event. It's the best seat before boarding. It's a real reason to arrive early. This is what an airport lounge is supposed to be. Chase Sapphire Reserve. Make more of what's yours.
Hi, we're Visible. Getting set to travel this summer and need a wireless plan that'll keep you connected on the go? Do it with one line and unlimited 5G data for just $25 a month. For faraway adventures, Global Pass keeps you connected in 140 countries. And coverage just about anywhere with unlimited hotspot included, powered by Verizon. From road tripping to globetrotting, winning at summer travel starts with Visible. Switch at visible.com and travel like a champion.
You ready to be a New York Giant?
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Our team's still adding pieces. We still have the draft and free agency.
Saquon, let's have a conversation.
You win here, it's unlike anywhere else.
Keep an eye here on number 15, Kyle Wilson, lined up at middle linebacker. As he makes his way over to the ball carrier, you see him reach with that left hand to scoop the ball out. Pops it free on Dukes, gives him a little pat on the head. After the play, Talbert, the rest of those defenders aware that as you said, Marsh, there had been no whistle. Play continues on because everything seems so casual.
Yeah.
It was, I think half the guys on the field thought the play was over.
This kick fading towards the Tiger Cats bench, and it'll go out of bounds, shades of Boris Beatty in Edmonton, and the tough ending for the Elks at home last week against the Ottawa Red Blacks.
Hamilton, number 33. Ball will be placed at the 50-yard line.
Start continuing at Edmonton despite the coaching change.
Dukes, after having the short yardage sneak go awry, back out onto the field, was 15 of 18 on pass attempts under 9 yards. Depth of target last week against the Montreal Alouettes. Opened it up a little bit more here tonight, but still working the underneath as once again back to the ground game, and it is Kadeem Carey churning the legs once again for a gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards on the play. But the running game really is, it feels like, the emerging identity of this Argonauts offense under Cam Dukes.
Yeah, I think it definitely is, and I think probably in a little different way than with Chad Kelly at quarterback. Dukes operates this offense liking to use his legs a little bit, not necessarily running the football per se, but play action rollouts, getting on the move a little bit more rather than standing back in the pocket and slinging.
They'll be forced to do so here on 2nd and long. A flag comes out, completed underneath to Poke, and Jamal Peters is playing football tonight, man. He is flying around and making plays. Will sort out the penalty. I love the quote that Whit McManus had to us this week, Dwayne, where he said, "Not sure all that glitters is gold. Last year was a lot of talent, and we got away with a lot of things we maybe shouldn't have."
Offside. Hamilton, number 8. That penalty we decline. The result of the play is a first down.
Wayne Hendricks, guilty party, but see the end of the play here with Poke and Peters, and this was one of those guys that was super talented on that Toronto defense that they could get away with some things because they had athletes like that.
Yeah, no question. And, Jamal Peters talked to us about being a little fired up to play against his old team. Thought he was going to remain a Toronto Argonaut going into free agency. But happy to find a home down the road here in Hamilton.
Quick throw underneath, and Awashe makes the grab. There's Jamal Peters and his numbers with the Toronto Argonauts. It sounded like the negotiation with the Hamilton Tiger Cats was pretty easy once he realized he wasn't going back to Toronto.
Yeah, I think the opportunity to play for a rival when things didn't work out with his former team was certainly a selling feature, but a Ticat team that has gone through some change in the secondary, some inexperience, certainly welcoming all that Peters brings to the table, an established shutdown corner in this league, playing on that boundary side.
How much would he love to get an interception here tonight? Dukes rolls to his right, throws it across his body, complete underneath is Tavares Daniels. Nice effort that time, and Kyle Wilson adds to his tackling tally on the season, but not until the Argonauts get a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, nice poised escape here from Cameron Dukes, as you're going to see him take off as he feels like that pocket is crashing down. Brandon Barlow in his face a little bit, but getting on the move, keeping his eyes downfield, still looking to make a throw as he attacks that edge.
Deontay McMahon was on that last play. He's out. Kadeem Carey back in. They'll give it to Carey. And once again, first down. Going back to the running attack, trusting the right side of that offensive line. Peter Nicastro, the center. Gregor McKellar, out of St. FX, the right guard. And Dion Allen, that right tackle.
As you see the follow through on the pass fake from Cameron Dukes to hold the backside end, keep him from crashing down. On that play, quarterback and running back working together to make things happen.
Second down and 6. One of the better drives for the Argonauts in this football game. Dukes looks over the middle, complete. And Rasheed Bailey down just outside the 10-yard line, but another first down here. Not yet goal to go. The passing attack starting to heat up.
Anthony Terry doing a nice job stepping up in protection, the offensive line. Body on body, allowing their quarterback the time he needs. Rasheed Bailey. Been such a nice ad for the Argos, goes and gets it.
The Moxie that time. Just past his fingertips defensively for the black and gold, and so here comes Dukes. Goes with a stretch run outside, trying to run away from tacklers, but he carried, bounces out 2, then 3. Touchdown Argos.
And a good hard run there from the Argos veteran running back. Carey's going to bounce this out to the left side, right on your screen. Makes one miss, runs through an arm tackle. The double blue had their first major of the day.
Brandon Barlow tried to chase it down from the backside, but slithering away was Kadeem Carey. Bouncing on bodies as he picked up momentum inside the 5-yard line. And Cam Dukes leads a touchdown drive to get Hamilton feeling a little bit more pressure here from the Argonauts if they could piece together a drive like that. 17-7.
Another look at Kadeem Carey's latest major.
That's why you always start here. Yeah, you fuck it up.
Get a sense of the power of the Argo running back on that one.
And of course, when you look at a body like that,
your turn now. Yes,
you assume that guy does a lot of yoga, which he actually does.
Yes, he does. Sometimes multiple times a day.
We lost.
And he is built up. Ryan Dinwiddie told us this week, not only did we know that we needed some performance from him on the field, but we needed him to be a leader in the locker room as well. Trying to get everything they can out of Kadeem Carey. And when you saw the way that the musical chairs were shifting around in CFL free agency in the running back position group, you kind of went, come on. He's got to go to Toronto, right? AJ, that's gone to Saskatchewan. You got this guy going here, that guy going. He's got to go to Toronto. Well, here he is. He's in the end zone as the Argonauts, their first score of the ball game. Devon Harris returns this for Hamilton across the 20-yard line, runs into his own man, Tyshawn Blackburn, the rookie at the University of Alberta. The first downfield there to make the play as we see the Argonauts touchdown drive piece by piece.
Yeah, Kadeem Carey, whether he had the ball or not, playing a big role in this one. Whether it was with his pass protection or some play action passes that allowed Cameron Dukes to get on the move, and of course, finishing it off with the touchdown run.
Levi Mitchell right now, 6 of 8, 62 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. As Bo crossing route, and it is hauled in, one-hand catch over the middle. That took every bit of effort from Cameron McDonald in order to haul it in his first year at a Florida State, 6'4", 245, and needed all that frame.
Yeah, one of the ongoing themes and discussion of the Hamilton Ticats this year has been their desire to implement the tight end a little bit more. And they have had to look stateside in order to find those body types. Cam McDonald getting an opportunity here. A couple of looks in the early going tonight.
Only a gain of 4, but full value on the hand-eye that time for McDonald as Mitchell loads it up, throws a corner route, up for grabs, incomplete. It was intended for Tim White, and it'll be third down punting unit coming out. Bo talked to us this week, Dwayne, about the idea of he used to be a top-down guy. Everything was deep shot, and I'll take whatever else underneath. He said under Scott Milanovich, he's really been looking short to deep. This is one of the first times we've seen him kind of challenge the Argos defense.
Yeah, and it was interesting to hear Bo's kind of explanation of how his career has evolved over time. But feeling that part of the reason it started off that way was his ability to throw the long ball was kind of what differentiated him from the other veteran guys in Calgary. When he was there, Drew Tate, Kevin Glenn. And so he sort of felt like when he got an opportunity to play, he needed to do the thing that made him different and be a little more aggressive.
This kick dribbles down to the Argonauts' 42-yard line. No yards flag. Looks like it's out here. Janarian Grant heads past the Argos sideline and a big tackle on the hair. Anti-Litre, who had the block punt earlier. Grant's up onto his feet, but it's going to make the head, the neck, and the hair not feel so great for Janarian Grant.
That's why I shaved my head.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, that just hurts every time I see it, and I understand why it's not a penalty, but I don't really understand why it's not a penalty.
Well, it's the discussion that you and I have been having throughout this season is it's considered to be part of the uniform unless you actively target
no yards.
it.
Hamilton number 34, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, it makes me cringe every time.
I was about to paint the picture for everyone at home who can't see Dwayne Ford the way I can. Visibly cringing the pain of the neck getting twisted like that.
But so here's the thing to me, and I understand it's a horse collar tackle if you pull someone down by the back of their jersey. The hair isn't part of the jersey. A player makes a choice to have that hair. I get it. But the reason why it became a penalty is because it's a dangerous play, pulling someone down from basically the top of their back like that. It's about the mechanism of injury. Whether you're pulling their hair or pulling the jersey, it would be the same mechanism of injury. It's the same risk. And so that is where my concern lies with the non-penalty. And I mean, the fact is, it would be harder to grab the jersey than it is to grab the hair, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. My confusion here is that it was a long hair on long hair crime. Anti-Litre, what are we doing going after the long hair? You're one of...
Yeah, you're
part of the
target
crew.
on yourself.
Can't be doing that. Nice to see Nick Arbuckle, backup quarterback here with the Argos, going over and trying to cheer up or get a laugh at Janarian Grant, reset him a little bit. As Cam Dukes, play action crossbody, rolls to his left and throws this one up for Pope, who makes the grab but out of bounds. As Cam Dukes did everything he could to complete that one, but was put into a tough spot, rolling to his left as a right-handed quarterback.
Yeah, and you see rolling to his left, his momentum's going in that way, carries the throw that way just far enough to force Mackay Polk out of bounds as he goes up and gets this one.
What a grab by Polk. You talk about high pointing, went up and got it. As Kenneth George Jr. supplied the defensive coverage. Dukes, 2nd and 10 from the Hamilton 53. Pumps right, comes back, checks it down. Flag is up as Kadeem Carey has the first down, loses his bucket at the end of the play, and we'll check out the flag.
And Casey Sales down there signaling penalty against Toronto. Like we'd expect any different from a Hamilton D lineman.
Well, as you say that in the rivalry.
Illegal block, hands to the face. Toronto number 66. 10-yard penalty. He's 2nd down.
Flag goes against Isaiah Cage there, the left tackle. But as you say that, the rivalry's heating up. These two teams are going back and forth. I saw Hamilton Tiger Cats defensive back pretend jokingly to kick the helmet of Kadeem Carey as it came off of his head, as there's Cage.
See the helmet pop off on Nick Usher. The evidence of the crime.
Hamilton in control. Cam Dukes trying to create something before half. Somehow gets that football out as Rasheed Bailey makes the grab, and then Kenneth George Jr. flies to the football, makes a play, and we've hit the 3-minute warning here in Hamilton with the sun setting, and just an absolutely perfect night for CFL football. These two rivals go back and forth. 2:40 remaining in the first half.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best, Because it is the best. Gatorade. Is it in you?
When the sawdust settles and the engine roars, the thing you care about is a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels different. Your wallet. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Geico can help cover cars, homes, motorcycles, and even accordions.
Pretty liberating knowing Geico can help insure our car. And with our home insurance, your accordion, too.
We're not the only ones out here taking advantage of Geico.
Smoke him, Edna. You sure showed him.
That's your pickled peppers idea.
Whatever you need, from coverage to service, get more.
Very special halftime coming up because we are going to be concentrating on special teams. We're all wondering how much pain Janarian Grant was after he had a lock of his hair ripped out. So JB is going to rip out a lock of his hair at halftime.
How's that?
And then I'll let you know.
Are those extensions?
These are not.
I'm just going to tell you flat out, Jim Barker's hair is falling out on its own. It's coming out way more easily than Janarian Grant.
Whoa! Allegations. Low line drive here. Off the foot of Haggerty, skips out of bounds. Leads the CFL with 6 punts placed inside the 10-yard line. That one came up a little shy, but he does keep it away from the returners. On that corner route in the last drive. I wonder if he can open it up to White or Shamar Bridges. Haven't said Keandre Smith's name much at all tonight. Luther Hakanavanu out there as well. From his own 18-yard line. Bo rolls right. Gets it to Tim White. And almost pulled down. Evaded the initial attempt by Benji Franklin. And Monty Dennis makes the tackle.
Yeah, Franklin started the season playing the field corner, moving over to the boundary side. Manages to get enough. The Ticat receiver there to slow him down, wait for the rest of the troops to get over.
2nd and 3. Bo calls it out at the line of scrimmage. They've checked out Stephen Dunbar Jr. alongside Luther Hakanavanu, bringing some heavier bodies. 3 receivers off the line of scrimmage here. They'll just base it up. A lot of window dressing for a straight north-south run as a flag comes up. A lot of different ways to make a simple play work. But where is the flag?
Illegal block. Hamilton number 12. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down repeated.
So wipe out a gain of 21 because number 12 gets called for springing the play.
Yeah, we'll see where he came from and where he went to deliver the block. Tim White lined up out wide, motioning in towards the box. Delivering that shot to the back of Amani Dennis. And right in front of the ball carrier. Easy call.
Hard count here from Bo. They empty it out 3 by 3. Mitchell seam route open down the center. No, incomplete. Tumbling over his feet. They missed the home run. Wondered when Keandre Smith was going to get his opportunity.
Beside one of the defensive backs. Looked like each one thought the other one was going to stay with Smith down the seam. Neither one did.
In the eyes of desperation, you can see inside Keandre Smith's helmet that time, wishing for an opportunity to get his hands on that football, but just a bit too far. Missed opportunity for Hamilton to add to their lead here at the end of the first half. And so now Janarian Grant tracks down this football, fumbling around with it back at his own 35. And a huge flip of field position for Hamilton. Again, the special teams continue to cash in after a 55-yard punt.
Ticats Getting a chance to get in a little closer on that one as Grant lets that one hit the ground off his body.
How about Sermon Bagayogo down there with Tyler Turnowski? Ron Gauthier was on the play as well. All the Canadians ripping around on specials as Mickey Donovan watches on, the Argonauts special teams coordinator, wishing he could create a little bit of energy for his offense, but doesn't do so on that opportunity. So a minute 46 remaining and a 10-point deficit. How much would this mean to the Argonauts and the Double Blue fans that have made their way down here to Hamilton if they could close this gap up further before the half?
Yeah, quick start. Some misfortune from an Argos perspective as you're essentially giving up a special teams touchdown and a defensive touchdown.
Dukes escapes, flag comes up, that little holding call is going to bring this one back, but across the 55 for now goes Rasheed Bailey. It looks like Isaiah Cage is injured and down behind the play as well.
Toronto number 67, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Meanwhile, left tackle Isaiah Cage slow to get up, but here the call on the right guard. Gregor McKellar having a little bit of trouble with his former teammate Dwayne Hendricks tonight. Hendricks beat him for a sack in the first quarter of this ball game.
Cage got rolled up on, you saw there at the end of the play, but gritting his teeth through it, stays in the huddle. No trainers came out, so he doesn't have to leave the field. Minute 38. And now backed up after the McKellar penalty. 1st and 20. It was like one of those real swing moments in the ball game. Can Toronto create some energy, or can Hamilton make a big play defensively? They'll screen it out. Richie Sindani, 1-on-1. Solid throw there. Talbert, who has the touchdown on the fumble recovery earlier, makes the tackle in the open field. Now Rasheed Bailey slow up onto his feet.
Yeah, quick hitter here. Running that hitch screen out wide. Rasheed Bailey a little banged up. He was the man out there blocking for Sindani.
And Jamal Peters, they just run straight through him trying to get to the football, and then Peters went with the tomahawk trying to rip that one out as well.
Well, Bailey along with Kadeem Carey, a key addition to the Argonaut offense this offseason, free agency.
Felt like he was the type of player exactly, very similar to Kadeem Carey, that they needed to go get. Right? He was a veteran guy, leader, still give you a ton of productivity. You can lean on him all year, but understandable why he's banged up here. Well, we knew Jamal Peters was going to come to play. There he pays the price that time. So after the Sindani screen catch, 2nd down and 12. Looks like a couple of Tiger Cats popped up quickly, but Sales and Nick Usher pointing towards the left side of that Argonauts offensive line.
Toronto number 62, 5-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
That one's going to go against Ryan Hunter, the other guard, the Toronto left guard. You saw the feet move a little early there. Not the first offensive lineman to get happy feet with Casey Sales lined up in front of him. Sales at 2023 League All-Star.
The Argonauts offensive linemen all taking their turns. A penalty on Hunter, McKellar, Isaiah Cage, Dukes. Top down in distance here, trying to create anything. Barlow can't get there. Usher in hot pursuit. And Dukes fades this one. In behind the sideline, out of bounds. 3rd and 17. Hamilton's defense, a scrappy effort on that drive.
And nice twist on the right side of that defensive line between Sales and Brandon Barlow. Barlow comes free to supply the initial pressure. He's chasing it down from the back. The other end, Nick Usher. closing it off from the front.
Ryan Dinwiddie trying to find solutions for his offense. We'll have to wait once again, maybe until after halftime, depending on this position, as Harris got to just outside his 20, about a 10-yard return. And once again, Bo Levi Mitchell comes out onto the field. The halftime show coming up. Kate Burness, Enoch Mwamba, Matty Dunnigan, and Jim Barker back in studio, breaking it down for you. Taking a look around at everything that is shaped right now, a 17-7 Ticats lead.
Again, Ticats' efforts tonight with this lead very much aided by phases of the game other than offense.
Mitchell looking on a corner, a little double move, it looks like this time for Keandre Smith. There he goes, gets his hands on the football, was waiting for that one. And right at the 55, Smith has a first down for the Black and Gold.
Yeah, timely connection there from Mitchell to Smith. Keandre had biggest game of his career against Toronto last season.
Royce Mechie on that play. First and 10, right at midfield. Mitchell feels that he has to get rid of it. Jake Ceresna was coming, and Bo didn't have a chance to get his feet set that time to get it to Keandre once again.
And we know Jake Ceresna right on the nose. Man, brought in from Edmonton to help bolster the interior of that offensive line. Dwayne Hendricks moving on from that position, moving to Hamilton in free agency.
I'm going to block that guy. 2 or 3 bodies still couldn't get it done. Now Mitchell rips it out. Stephen Dunbar Jr. puts the shoulder down. Great effort to get the first down.
Yeah, no dancing involved there. Dunbar out wide, top of your screen. Catches this one just short of the first down marker. You'll see as the tacklers come up. Could try to dance and avoid, but he's just going to run through them. Sacrificing his pants to get the first down for his team.
A new go-to catchphrase is born for Dwayne Ford, but Priester slow to get up after Dunbar put his shoulder down on that play. So the Argonauts training staff out to attend to him with 36 seconds remaining in this first half. I never love seeing that when the training staff is working on the backside of the neck and making sure, communicating with Priester that he can roll over onto his backside before they make any kind of movement. Good to see he is rolling onto his opposite side.
Yeah, Priester just returning to the Argos a couple weeks ago after the injury to Quincy Moshe. Toronto brings back a familiar face and a veteran guy to fill that nickel or Sam linebacker position.
And a tough player too, right? You think about kind of that nickel, that extra defensive back spot. He's 5'9", 180.
Yeah.
Taking on Stephen Dunbar at 6'3", 200. Like, he's 20 pounds down, or 5'6" inches smaller than Dunbar Jr. So easy equation there on who is going to be the hammer and who is going to be the nail. Good to see Priester out as Mitchell looks down the middle of the field for Keandre Smith. In a battle! Incomplete! What a play by Tyshawn Blackburn, who steps in immediately for Priester. And the third-round pick from this year's draft, 27th overall, got just enough of this one.
And Mitchell getting good protection, steps up, and nice adjustment to the football here by Keandre Smith to go after this one. But an even better defensive play, as you mentioned, by the former Alberta Golden Bear, Tyshawn Blackburn.
So Mitchell with 2nd and 10. Quicker release this time, and it is intercepted. And the streak of consecutive passing attempts without an interception is done for Bo. He was up over 100 straight without throwing a pick. That one, well, it's not really on 19. Through the hands of Luther Hakanavanu. And Toronto takes advantage.
Yeah, Mitchell looking to push this one down the field a little bit. You see Hakanavanu working towards the inside. Ball's just behind him. He's unable to get his body positioned to catch this one. Deflects off the hands, through the hands, and into the waiting arms of Deshaun Amos.
Amos had eyes for an even bigger return. Hamilton able to bring him down at the Argonauts' 38-yard line. 13 seconds remain. Deonta McMahon in the ball game and fading it down the sideline. Guess who goes up and gets it? DeMonte Coxie.
We alluded earlier to Toronto picking their spots a little bit in terms of the deep balls. No element of surprise to this one. If they want to get points, they got to push the ball here. And this is just Cameron Dukes having faith in his receiver, DeMonte Coxie, to go get a 50-50 ball. Excellent effort from number 86 to haul that one in.
David Unger loved it in the background of that shot on the Argonauts sideline. Not in a uniform tonight, but cheering on his receiving teammate. And flashback, was it Samuel Emelis that made a grab like that for the win against Calgary last season? So kind of reminiscent, right, of defenders standing still, just a body flying through the air to go get it. What a play by Coxie. So they send out the field goal unit. Liram Hairolahu from 42 yards away lines it up and misses it. So now Hamilton returns it. Harris gets it out of the end zone, and that will do it for an entertaining first half of football here in Hamilton. The former Ticat, Liram Hairolahu, couldn't knock it down.
Yeah, after the big catch by Coxie, sets up this opportunity to turn this into a one-score game going in at the break. Hairolahu just wide left. Smoke Harris, the returner, recognizing the situation. Insult to injury there for the Argo kicker.
I'm only laughing because you and I were in Montreal last week and we saw Dylan Wynn getting into it with Liram Hairolahu. Let's go down to Paul Lapalisse, who's field side with Destin Talbert.
Kyle Wilson stripped it for you, Destin. Now, when a ball's on the ground like that, is that hard to pick up? You're like worried about it. There's nobody there by the end zone, but you got it.
No, I was excited. I was ready. I wouldn't say it was hard. It was right there for the taking. I just had to get up and go.
Great job on that touchdown. Now, Coach Milovich talked to me this week about keeping it simple, you guys, on defense. What was it like in the meetings this week?
Like you said, simple. Shortening it down like what we had to do. Less complication, more just go make your play. There's still plays out there we can make, so we got to get to it.
What do you expect to do in the second half?
Go out there and win. Finish this game strong. We got to play 2 full halves of football. We haven't done it yet.
Okay, thanks, Destin.
Yes, sir.
Kate, to you guys in the panel.
Lapo, those guys on the panel you know very well. Enoch Mwamba, Matt Dunnigan, Jim Barker. And we've got ourselves a 17-7 football game after that missed field goal. If you watch the series on Crave Shoresy, their biggest line is honestly something that they were getting done the entire time. The special teams was magnificent watching them, JB.
Well, 3 weeks ago, they fire Paul Boudreau and they bring in Dennis McKnight, who was the offensive line coach there when I was coaching there in 2019. Just a football coach. And he has got this team playing with, they're flying around. Here, Milanovic Litre blocks the kick. Dennis goes over, gives him a kiss. Those are the kind of guys you want to play for. Here, Nick Constantino, a 68-yard punt. And look at the coverage on Janarian Grant. This is a team that's playing focused on special teams, which we didn't see early. Now they're going to take a Haggerty punt, 38 yards to Vaughn Harris. 38 yards, and the biggest thing, no penalties. They didn't take penalties on special teams. I think this was a key part of them being where they are right now. They got to get the offense in order, but I think that was a key thing.
Yeah, huge for McKnight, having a little extra time on a bye week, coming off a bye week, getting those guys locked in. You can see a jump in their step. And you see it on not only on special teams, you see it on defense as well, Jim. And I absolutely love what I'm seeing here. Really confusing a young quarterback, making him be patient. Hendricks gets to him here, and this is what you need. Get the guy off his spot, get him moving, and get him thinking, and his eye's not even right. He's not even looking downfield, and they're doing a nice job problem in his first half. This is 3rd and 1. Get a scoop and score. Talbert, who got beat there right at the end of the half, takes it in, and this is big time. And Simone Lawrence is loving it. Now watch this play. Physicality, we talk about Jamal Peters off the top. He just knocked out Rashard Bailey on that play. To me, this is what type of energy it needs to win in this league. You come off the bye week, you come out here, you protect your house against your arch rival, and you come out and play physical. They were able to do that first third.
Well, Matt, you talk about the physicality that the Hamilton Ticats are bringing to this game. That's what they need to do to win. But this offense in Toronto, they have got to get Kadeem Carey involved. When they've been successful, they had Kadeem Carey involved. Cam Dukes is not a prototypical just stay in the pocket throw. He needs to be moving around, and I would love to see a little bit more diversity from this offense than what he's calling in the second half. But when he gets the guys around him involved and starts off with Kadeem Carey, the more he touches the ball, the more success this offense is going to see in the second half. And so when they come out this half, you talk about the defense and the physicality in Hamilton.
Yeah.
They need to be physical on offense in Toronto as well, but it starts off from Kadeem Carey. I know the receiver's not going to like that, but it's got to start off with him.
And you know what? They set the tone. That's the line I was looking for. And Kadeem Carey, he better set the tone in the second half.
Good look at Kadeem Carey's latest major.
What's up with your dad, Chloe?
Ever since he got AT&T's best deal on the new Samsung Galaxy, he's been up on his high horse.
Best deal got me feeling like a big old cowboy.
That's a very high horse. Perhaps you can wait in the waiting room?
I'll just go wait in the waiting room.
Ride high with AT&T's best deal on the new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6.
The game is changing, but what drives the game never will. What you have inside. It refuses to be ignored. It sweats everything. It turns an athlete into a legend. It demands respect. The game will always change, but it never will. Gatorade, is it in you?
When you're the leader in disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen? Fire it up, Randy! By being prepared for anything! Whatever comes your way, there's a pro for that.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
The freshest milk, 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 check. The freshest bread, the freshest bread, the freshest bread, the freshest bread, the freshest.
Sup?
Who are you?
I'm your inner child. Get in. Listen, horsepower keeps you going, but torque gets you going. Oh, now we're torquing.
The Dodge Hornet RT.
Unlimited 1.5% cash back is just the beginning. With no annual fee. Chase Freedom Unlimited. How do you cash back?
With verified reviews, I was relaxed before I even got here.
Happy birthday, Marty. Oh, no, you don't. Let me get this.
Ah, thanks. You're too kind.
I've heard that.
Unlimited 2% cash back. The Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card.
Find your next possibility on Cars.com. Where to next?
Ready? This is a battery-sucking lie. Because at Aldi, you don't need an app to get a low price. They just have USDA choice beef at everyday low prices.
Everything we don't do is for you. It's an Aldi thing.
last fall. Catch up now on Paramount Plus.
I could do this with my eyes closed. Turn out the lights.
Tomorrow for Wally Buono as he will officially go into the Stampeders Hall of Fame. 282 career wins, 153 with Calgary, 129 with BC. He became the winningest coach in CFL history on September the 19th, 2009, passing Don Matthews' previous mark of 231. Our Dave Naylor has more on Wally.
Wally Buono was hired as head coach of the Calgary Stampeders in 1990. He was an outlier. A rare Canadian handed the reins to a CFL team. At a time, there were no others. It was a decision that paid off immediately for the Stamps. Buono's head coaching career began with an amazing 11 consecutive double-digit win seasons. First time he failed to hit that mark in 2001 with an 8-10 squad, the Stamps rallied to win his third Grey Cup in 12 seasons.
The revamped Stamps are champs again!
Buono's move to BC began with 6 more seasons of double-digit wins, and he would capture 2 more Grey Cup victories as coach of the Lions. Along the way, he helped open the door to more Canadian head coaches in the CFL, becoming the league's all-time leader in victories, and one of just 3 Canadians in the top 20, along with Cal Murphy and Mike O'Shea.
Your nationality is not relevant. Where you come from is not relevant. Any man who's got a passion, who's got a desire, who's got an ambition, can be successful.
Though he was a linebacker in his playing days, Buono was renowned for his ability to identify and develop quarterback talent, winning his 5 Grey Cups with 5 different starting quarterbacks: Doug Flutie, Jeff Garcia, Marcus Crandall, Dave Dickinson, and Travis Lulay. Wally Buono is remarkably the all-time leader in coaching victories for both the Calgary Stampeders and BC Lions, 2 franchises that will honor him this week for his unparalleled success and his place in both CFL and Canadian sporting history.
Looking forward to that celebration at halftime. It is our final game of week number 7. The BC Lions taking on the Stampeders. BC has won the last 4 meetings at McMahon. All of them decided in the final 3 minutes. Should be a great one to say the least. But first, there's business to finish over in Hamilton. The Tiger Cats up by 10. We go back to Tim Hortons Field right after this.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking about our honeymoon. What about Africa? Safari. Hot air balloon ride. Swim with elephants.
Wait, can we afford a safari? Great question. Like everything, takes a little planning.
Or put the money towards a down payment.
On a ranch?
In Montana.
With horses?
Let's take a look at those scenarios.
JP Morgan Wealth Management has advisors in Chase branches and tools like Wealth Plan to help keep you on track. When you're planning for it all, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Hi, we're Visible. Getting set to travel this summer and need a wireless plan that'll keep you connected on the go? Do it with one line and unlimited 5G data for just $25 a month. For faraway adventures, Global Pass keeps you connected in 140 countries. And coverage just about anywhere with unlimited hotspot included, powered by Verizon. From road tripping to globetrotting, winning at summer travel starts with Visible. Switch at visible.com and travel like a champion.
When the sawdust settles and the engine roars, the thing you care about is a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels different. Your wallet. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Oh, what a good time we will have. You can make it happen again.
Voltaren for long-lasting arthritis pain relief.
We could have planned this a lot better. Viator lets you book over 300,000 travel experiences.
Wait, there are guided mountain bike tours?
Yeah, and tons of traveler reviews.
I guess it could be worse.
Yep.
Oh.
Regret less. Do more. With
Six free wings with Buffalo Wild Wings Go? That's a terrible business decision. Someone's getting fired.
We handcraft every Stearns & Foster using the finest materials like indulgent memory foam and ultra-conforming inner springs for a beautiful mattress and indescribable comfort.
Get a $300 instant gift with select Stearns & Foster mattresses when you shop at Mattress Firm.
Tempur-Pedic designed the Ergo Pro Smart Base to help you fall asleep more easily. Its gentle massage and relaxing sounds help calm your mind every night. Tempur-Pedic ranked #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased online by J.D. Power.
The numbers after one half of play here in the Hammer, 17-7, the Tiger Cats advantage, but you can see rushing yards, passing yards, net yards. There's a lot to be left there on the table for the Toronto Argonauts. Maybe it'll be the running game that gets them back into it. Let's go down to Paul Appalese, who's alongside offensive lineman Ryan Hunter.
Ryan, first of all, offensive lineman getting an interview, is this going to incur a fine?
No, I had to talk to the guys and talk them down a little bit, so I should be good to go.
Yeah, for those who don't know, the linemen do not do interviews often. Hey, you've done a great job. Coach Tim Woody asks a lot about this offensive line is the best in the Canadian Football League. What do you got to do better in the second half to run the ball?
Got to keep running the ball well, establish the line of scrimmage, protect their quarterback, and just do our job.
Yeah, the protection, they've been able to get a four-man pass rush, get home a little bit. What do you guys got to do fundamentally to protect them?
Just do what we're coached to do. We've been doing it all year at a successful rate, so we got to go back to our technique, go back to our work, and hope it works in the second half.
Thanks. Have a great second half.
Appreciate it.
That's going to cost Ryan so much money. He's bankrupt at this point.
Well, it's money or food, right?
Yes.
O-linemen can usually be paid off with gifts of a caloric nature.
Well, I was going to say this is kind of empty calories right now for the Toronto Argonauts because it feels like you've got a lot going for you in this ball game, but just 7 points to show for it. So Mark Leggio will open the proceedings here in the second half, and Toronto gets first touch with a 10-point deficit to the Tiger Cats. Janarian Grant with one less piece of hair from the first half. Returns it out across the 40 as the Argonauts running game behind Ryan Hunter. Certainly a big factor in this one, and Kadeem Carey is the engine.
Yeah, and the thing that stands out when you go back to those halftime stats is the Toronto Argonauts basically doubling up the Hamilton Tiger Cats in terms of time of possession. They've moved the football. They've been able to keep drives going, obviously running as opposed to throwing the ball a lot, making big chunk plays. They're eating up that time very effectively, but not making the most of their opportunities, whereas Hamilton, very little time of possession, but making big play on defense, fumble return for a touchdown, big play on special teams, block punt in Toronto territory that sets up a touchdown.
As Carey gets underway here in the second half, tries to reach the edge, but it's pulled down. No, he keeps going. Drives the legs through contact. It took about 4 or 5 Hamilton Tiger Cats to finally bring down Kadeem Carey. I was about to say, he is kind of churning the legs and driving the energy through this offense. Only 40 yards, but this is the type of running that just wears down the defense.
Yeah, in terms of duration, one of the longest 12 or 15-yard runs you're going to see as he is not just breaking tackles, but fighting through tackles to stay alive, move the sticks for his team. Great effort there from number 25.
Cam Dukes with 4 receivers to his left will roll that direction. Flips it out to the flats, and Danny makes the grab, pushed out of bounds at the 43-yard line.
Richie Sindani proving to be a valuable late season 2023 pickup for the Toronto Argonauts. Brought in last year down the stretch at a time when the Argos were starting 3 Canadian receivers. He had spent most of the season with Hamilton after starting his career in Calgary. Argos brought him in as a depth guy, and now Curly Gittins having moved on. David Unger, Tommy Neal, Dejean Brissett all on the injured list. Sindani being relied on a little bit here now.
Deonta McMahon into the backfield, and on 2nd and a yard, they decide not to go with the short yard sneak. Wonder how much of that had to deal with the fumble that happened in the first half from Cam Dukes in short yards. They give it to the undersized but powerfully running Deonta McMahon.
Yeah, and staying in a bit of a standard offensive set as opposed to loading up with the big bodies. Forces Hamilton to line up a little differently. Looser in terms of the gaps there. McMahon takes advantage of that.
This time they fake to carry, flip it out to McMahon, and I say undersized, he wishes he had a couple more inches on those arms on that one. Incomplete.
Yeah, again, we saw this on a sideline throw earlier with Dukes rolling to his left and that momentum on the throw. It's just a little too much for the back McMahon to handle.
And for a guy who completed 80% of his passes last week, that has been a rarity to miss throws like that. So Dukes leaves himself with a lot of work to do here. 2nd and 10 from the Hamilton 39. Flips it out quickly behind the line of scrimmage. McMahon makes the grab and jumps forward, but only picks up about 3 yards on the play. So again, Toronto super conservative here, and they'll lean on Liram Hairolahu, the kicker.
I know he didn't fire, he was just cooking.
And Hairolahu had that 42-yard miss at the end of the first half that would have made this a 1-score ball game to start the 3rd quarter. Looking for a little bit of redemption here.
They'll come from 43 yards away. Hairolahu missed one at the end of the first half. This one is true. Down the middle, Liram back on the board, and it's a 1-score game here in Hamilton. Squaring up the laces and hammering it through the uprights. Toronto's won 6 in a row and 10 of 11 over Hamilton.
Welcome to Stop. Best served with best friends. Pacifico, life's waiting.
I love you. I love you.
Welcome to Old El Paso, where stand and stuffed taco shells stand tall without falling over. Where squeezable sauces means less mess. Where however you make it, everyone can make it their own. Go on, get yourself some in Old El Paso.
I'm Deadpool's roommate, Blind Al. I can't see him. But Lord, can I smell him. I have Old Spice Total Body. Keeping him fresh everywhere.
Make it cold.
With AC Pro, anyone can recharge their car's AC. Like a pro. Be a pro with AC Pro.
USPS Ground Advantage te da el advantage que tu negocio necesita. Un advantage de confianza, con entregas a tiempo. Un advantage de valor, con seguro de protección. USPS Ground Advantage. Un advantage para tu negocio.
One a day. Science that matters.
Hamilton, Bo Levi Mitchell, and what he's been up to so far throughout this evening. Not a lot of numbers to show for it. It hasn't really been the explosive yardage that we've seen from Bo through the first 5 games.
But the Ticats have the lead.
Right.
Yeah, a little bit of a a different look as the Ticats aren't chasing this one, not necessarily forced to be so aggressive in having both throw the ball. He's had a couple of deep looks, but veteran hasn't really been forced out of his comfort zone, so to speak, in this one either.
92-34 career, but 0-7 in his last 7 games started for Hamilton, including this 0-5 beginning to 2024. He's tracking down the backside that time. Robbie Smith from his defensive line position brings down James Butler.
And you'll see Cameron McDonald, the tight end, in on the left side on this one. Ticats looking to add a gap basically for the Argos to defend, flatten out that defense a little bit. Toronto doing a pretty good job flowing to the football there.
Bit of a muddle huddle here from the Tiger Cats as Scott Milanovich mixing it up. Everyone gets to the line, stands around, Bo signals it in. Snap comes up from David Beard, and Bo throws a slant incomplete. Keandre Smith, the intended receiver, is Jonathan Edward out of Carleton there on the coverage.
Yeah, Edward, who had been a game-time decision, starting the last couple games at that field corner spot for the Toronto Argonauts. Mentioned he's a guy who finished up his college career at Carleton, started off at Henderson State, south of the border, actually an American from Florida, but qualifies as a national by virtue of his years played in youth sports football.
Constantino ready to send this one away. Arian Grant still waiting to have that marquee explosive moment that he had each of the last 2 weeks with a return touchdown, as he sneaks through the middle and then runs into a wall of tacklers on this one. There's Hamilton 0-5. Worst start since they were 0-8 in 2017, but that stadium right there would light up if they get a victory over the hated Argos here tonight.
Jersey Mike's freshly slices it right in front of you. You can't fake that. You can fake my outfit. You can fake these haunches. You just can't fake a freshly sliced Jersey sub. Made the authentic Jersey way since 1956. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Itchy pad? With Chewy, save 20% on your first pharmacy order, so you can put an end to the itch. Get flea and tick medication delivered right to your door.
Fire it up, Randy!
That's how you make like it never even happened, happen.
Serve Pro.
See you tomorrow.
Do you want to close out?
Should I? Normally I'd hold, but taking the gains is smart here, right?
Feel more confident with stock ratings from JP Morgan analysts in the Chase app. When you've got a decision to make, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Introducing new Advil Targeted Relief, the only topical pain reliever with 4 powerful pain-fighting ingredients that start working on contact to target tough pain at the source for up to 8 hours of powerful relief. New Advil Targeted Relief.
Every Jersey Mike sub is sliced and stacked right in front of you since 1956.
You slice, I snack.
I said slice and stack.
Tomato, tomato.
It's tomato.
Freshly sliced since 1956. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
The final major of the season, the 152nd Open Championship from Royal Troon. Catch the final round tomorrow morning at 7 Eastern, 4 a.m. Pacific on TSN. Golf.
Way to set the tone.
Yeah. Played my first holes of the year last weekend.
That's a British Open cap right there.
It is. In case you're wondering, I was terrible. First and 10. Inside handoff once again. The north-south running game of these Argonauts, specifically on first down, starting to take hold. And it feels like they're climbing their way back into this one, down only 7. And using Kadeem Carey just like this time after time.
Yeah, and I appreciate the patience of the Toronto Argonauts to stay with the ground and pound here. Again, you feel like because it's been these big plays that have gone against them, like they almost as if they're down by more than they are. But the fact is, 7-point game, quarter and a half to go. I think Kadeem Carey and that run game are, over time, going to have a physical impact. Go back to that time of possession that we talked about earlier. That's going to impact the Hamilton defense.
I'll tell you what, Hamilton might have found somebody in Destin Talbert here, Dwayne.
Yeah, Talbert, a guy who started the season off playing that nickel backer spot, which is a tough ask for a first-year CFL player. Sometimes a box guy, sometimes in coverage, you've got motion coming at you, so many adjustments to be made over on that wide side of the field. He's moved to the boundary half now.
As Harris goes for an adventure back at his 15 and makes up for it. Nothing makes you run faster than dropping the initial catch. As Harris with a solid return.
Do this with my eyes closed. Turn up the mind.
Dwayne, you like that last one?
Not bad.
Dwayne's my music guy. I go to him for all my Spotify suggestions. Tiger Cats football, 1st and 10. From their own 28. Mitchell fades right, looks back left. 3 receivers there and a nice completion to Keandre Smith in front of Benji Franklin. Different looking concept this time from the Tiger Cats offense.
Here you're going to see Keandre Smith working out of the slot. Watch him push down the sideline as the defender is scrambling to catch up. Little comeback. Easy completion for a first down pickup.
Slide the pocket a little bit. Get Bo into a rhythm as he throws a strike on that one to Smith. Bo now up to 123 passing yards. As they split McDonald, the tight end, out wide. They'll throw a quick screen to James Butler. Spins away from Winton McManus. Tries to spin back again, but Parrish is there to bring him down.
And Derek Parrish continues to flash every so often as he's getting an opportunity to get some more snaps. As an edge rusher here for the Argos in the absence of the injured Falara Narumalade, University of Houston product.
And a little bit of that get to the line of scrimmage, wait it out, let Bo see what the defense is giving him. As they rush 5. Mitchell stands in, throws into traffic, tries the back shoulder. Did that get completed? Man, that was a tight window. Stephen Dunbar Jr. He went back shoulder on one defender, but had to fit it in behind another that was trailing.
Yeah, watch Dunbar venture into traffic here. Starts to work up the seam just as Blackburn continuing in place of Robert Priester comes over from the inside to sort of close that window on Bo. Forced to thread the needle.
Well, filed that one under throws that only a veteran quarterback would even attempt. James tucked the fullback in motion. They'll hand it off. James Butler makes Tyshawn Blackburn miss, and Fraser Sopik needs some help in order to finally bring Butler down. Kadeem Carey and James Butler, a couple running backs from the West that weren't wanted by their clubs, make their way east and are battling with downhill runs tonight.
Yeah, 2 of the best going head-to-head here. James Butler showing some of his dance moves there.
For the first time tonight, we see it's like Antti Litre come in. Says he'll go under center in short yardage. Had the blocked punt earlier on. And Winton McManus trying to drag him backwards just a little bit as the toothpick in on yet another play.
Offside. Toronto number 99. 5-yard penalty. Result will be a first down.
Ralph Hawley looks like lined up offside. His defensive tackle position is they deem he was inside that yard.
As you see Litre getting it done, helping out any way possible.
Mitchell with a tight end to the right. 4 receivers out, goes back to the ground game. Butler sticks his foot in the ground, cuts across the 30, bounces off 2 tacklers, and rolls down for a first down on the ground. A gain of 11.
Yeah, terrific cutback here by James Butler. You're going to get a feel for the vision here as the D-line starts flowing hard to the front side. Butler bends it back, moves the sticks. Argo defender, I think it was Parrish, went down on the play.
And Hamilton with 2 second down conversions on this drive, only 1 up to this point before this drive, as Kevin Iben, co-defensive coordinator, calling it in from the sideline. Looks like Teodric Hansen is going to check in for Derek Parrish when he makes his way to the sideline. But great conversation with Kevin Iben, who has made his way around, was working as a defensive coach here in Hamilton at McMaster in his past, as Parrish is up onto his feet and jogs off. But U of T, variety of different places, working special teams. And here he is calling the shots at Tim Hortons Field on a Saturday night.
A great part of that conversation, discussion about his deployment of Canadians at unique positions, right? We talked about Edouard and National playing the corner spot, but as well, Fraser Sopik. A little bit like Kevin Iben, a guy seen as an undersized Canadian linebacker, getting an opportunity to play a lot at the Will Backer spot here.
Yeah, you make plays, you get on the field for Kevin Iben. He knows that as well as anybody, is he'll run to the left-hand side. But you actually asked him about, did his personal playing experience factor into his coaching perspective?
Yeah, and I mean, he was a guy, he and Mike O'Shea, 2 Canadians playing in the same linebacking core in Toronto for a number of years, both highly productive guys during that time. Talked about, the fact that Rich Stubler gave him an opportunity. If he earned the job, he kept the job, and that was the deal. And it's, neat to see a little bit trend-wise now. Look at BC starting 3 Canadian linebackers. First time it's happened in this league in 25 years.
Levi Mitchell on 2nd and 7. Rolls to his right, incomplete. Talking about the intended receiver, Edouard, right there on cue in coverage. And 3rd down and 7. And that one feels like a missed opportunity for the Hamilton offense as they'll try to go for 3.
Yeah, one of their best drives of the night in terms of sustaining it, running the football effectively, moving the rock. Hakanavanu maybe fighting confidence a little bit right now.
Yeah. Had that tough drop earlier on that turned into the Deshaun Amos interception. So Mark Leggio back out to kick this one from 28 yards away. 4 minutes remaining here in the 3rd. And Leggio knocks it through. Doubling them up. 20-10 is your score. Plenty more football to be played between these 2 teams, as 40 teams have begun 0-5. Only 4 have made the playoffs. The Ticats trying to do that this season.
I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well. It's a little pill with a big story to tell. I take once daily Jardiance at each day's start. As time went on, it was easy to see I'm lowering my A1C.
Jardiance works 24/7 in your body to flush out some sugar. And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardiance can lower the risk of cardiovascular death too.
Serious side effects may include ketoacidosis that may be fatal, dehydration that can lead to sudden worsening of kidney function, and genital yeast or urinary tract infections. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of infection in your legs or feet. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Jardiance is really swell, the little pill with a big story to tell.
When you're the leader, disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen?
by being prepared for anything.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Give your engine the attention it deserves with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Its advanced formulation delivers faster flow and temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions, elevating engine performance by helping it run cleaner, longer. Available now at Napa.
Welcome back to Hamilton. Creative play calling for the Tiger Cats, even more creative play naming. Here's Scott Milanovich.
It's a play that he used to run quite a bit when he was in Winnipeg. It was the first time that I had ever seen it. I didn't really know the play, and then when I went to Indianapolis, it was one of our staples. So I learned to play a little bit. I always liked it, and yeah, we named that one after Lapo.
Well, if they run it and it doesn't work, I'm not going to mention it at all, guys. Only if it works. But the hardest thing as an offensive coordinator sometimes is giving play call names. So really nice that I got a name. I had a Rod Smith and I had a Chris Schultz back in the day.
Love it. Cam Dukes, quick screen here. They try to get Jerry Grant the football. Double catches it, but plunges forward for a gain of about 7. I just feel bad for anybody who was in a training camp or a playbook meeting and they say, okay, guys, this is, and everyone's going, what the heck is a Lapo?
Yeah, we have something we call a Lapo, but it means something totally different. You don't want to know, Paul.
Crushing the sidelines. That's what the Lapo is.
Yeah, you know, it's probably crazy. The young guys must be like, why are they naming a play after a sideline reporter?
Much more than that. Cam Dukes, 2nd and 3 from the gun. Won't even look to hand it off. Pass the whole way. Now he has to create with his feet. Escapes to the left. Pumps. Reaches the football out. He needed to get to the 50. And they'll spot him at the 48.
Yeah, Dukes again. Using his legs to keep this play alive. Just short of being in gambling range here, though. The Argos are going to send out John Haggerty in the punt unit. It's like 3rd and a full 2.
So back once again goes Harris. Who appears to have a signature on the top of the 8 on his uniform. I wonder if he signed his own jersey. Maybe it'll be a piece of memorabilia if he returns one to the house here tonight as Harris tries to track this down, and Haggerty lets it bounce and kick out of bounds at the 14-yard line. As Haggerty in the special teams unit trying to pin the Hamilton Tiger Cats offense as they lead by 10 late in the 3rd.
Do you really believe you'll find dinner in here? Mung beans, expired clams, corrupted peanut butter? You don't need to look in the pantry for dinner when you can order almost anything your heart desires. Your door to endless dinner options. DoorDash.
To the right now. Is the GPS playing the cha-cha slide?
Geico can help when you get a flat tire with their easy app and 24/7 help.
Everybody clap your hands.
Whatever you need, from coverage to service, get more with Geico.
Itchy peg? With Chewy, save 20% on your first pharmacy order. So you can put an end to the itch. Get flea and tick medication delivered right to your door.
Well, the best kick return rate in CFL history, 10 touchdowns in 46 games played, 4.6 games per touchdown scored, and a return touchdown in back-to-back games. Janarian Grant hasn't had that moment here tonight, but man, he has been special this season. And really, in his career. For the origin story, we go to the man that was a big part of it, Lapo.
I don't know about that, but one of 3 players to have a return in 5 consecutive seasons. The return game is a very strange position. Sometimes when you have an injury to your starter, you bring guys up because the personnel guys want a guy in there. Well, Janarian came up for us, and like he doesn't talk a lot, so he was in my receiver meetings, and I remember at the end of the week going, hey, Osh, who's going to return for us this week? And he's like, Janarian Grant. And I'm like, the guy in the back of the room who doesn't talk at all? Like, I barely knew his name. And then what did he do? He had 2 return touchdowns against the Calgary Stampeders for us, helped us win a game in Winnipeg in 2019.
Amazing.
You know his name now, don't you, Lapo?
Can't get away from him. As this one completed to James Butler. A little bit of running room, breaks another tackle, and Butler starts his engine and is off to the races across midfield and pushed out of bounds. But a simple little swing. We've seen so many of these, and so hard to break the wall defensively, but on about the 15th attempt at or near the line of scrimmage, all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah, a couple of Argo defenders get hands on Butler, but no one able to get enough of them to even slow him down. I talked about James Butler at the start of this game as the most important element of the Hamilton Tiger Cats offense. He demonstrates why there. Doing that coming off a game in which he had over 100 receiving yards. Turns in a big play and tilts the field for the black and gold.
And Ryan Dinwiddie walking across the field to see an injured Argonaut that's down behind the play. Haven't been able to see a number as of yet. But certainly somebody involved on that side of the play.
Bearing in mind that the Argos have already lost their starting nickel linebacker, Robert Priester, in this ball game. Got to imagine this is putting a bit of a strain on their secondary.
It looks like that's Jonathan Edward. Holding a wrist or a bottom of his arm. Gives the thumbs up to the bench, but he's going to need some assistance. And doesn't look like Edward is likely to return for the remainder of this one if that arm isn't working properly. So 2:15 remaining, and again they have to shift around the defensive backfield, and Ryan Dinwiddie trying to find solutions. One of the players that's been really good for them when asked to step into the lineup. He was banged up earlier on already this season, but Mason Pierce, you see there, 28.
Yeah, Pierce, who had been a starter since partway through last season at halfback. A little bit of shuffling of the deck. Amani Dennis came on for him a couple games ago at that spot, but Pierce is now going to check in at the field corner.
Well, 5'10", 185 lined up across from that 6'3" frame of Stephen Dunbar. So we'll see if Hamilton tries to target Pierce early on. It's over the middle of the field. And it looked like Tim White thought about flipping that one backwards to Stephen Dunbar, who is standing all alone a couple yards back, but he gets wrapped up after another nice chunk play for the Tiger Cats offense.
And here's Tim White going to work across the middle of this Toronto defense. You see him just bending it in between levels, gets behind the linebackers in front of the defensive back, making an easy completion for the veteran quarterback Mitchell.
Gain of 21 yards on the play. Amani Dennis made the tackle that time. And Bo with a 10-point lead nearing the final minute of the third quarter. Looks to his right, seamlessly flips this one out. And haven't set his name much tonight, but Shamar Bridges, 5th in the CFL in receiving, coming into tonight with 396 yards. It'll be a gain of about 4, 2nd and 6.
And thought there might have been an opportunity here for Keandre Smith, who comes out as the number 3 receiver. You see him right down the hash mark. But Bo, with that pocket closing down in his face, has to get the ball out a little more quickly than that.
Bridges and Tim White to the right of Bo Levi Mitchell, Keandre Smith, Luther Hakanavanu, and Stephen Dunbar to his left. He looks left, quick slant underneath, blown coverage, Hakanavanu made the catch, spins back, reaches, touchdown Tiger Cats! Hakanavanu adds to the Hamilton advantage after giving up an interception earlier with one that bounced off his hands, and back foot to boot.
Big one here for Hakanavanu. You're going to see pressure come from the left side. Butler starts off left, then goes right. But a man comes free in that blitz package. But Mitchell, veteran quarterback, recognizes it, gets the ball out quickly. Big one there.
Well, for an 0-5 club, biggest thing that jumps out to me watching that, every single offensive lineman first there on the scene to celebrate in the end zone. That typically isn't something that you see from a club that hasn't made their way into the win column at all so far this season. There was a quick drive, just a little over 220, 95 yards from the right hand of Bo Levi Mitchell into the waiting arms of his former Stampeders teammate, Luther Hakanavanu.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking about our honeymoon. What about Africa? Safari. Hot air balloon ride. Swim with elephants.
Wait, can we afford a safari? Great question. Like everything, takes a little planning.
Or put the money towards a down payment.
On a ranch?
In Montana.
With horses?
Let's take a look at those scenarios.
JP Morgan Wealth Management has advisors in Chase branches and tools like Wealth Plan to help keep you on track. When you're planning for it all, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Itchy pad? With Chewy, save 20% on your first pharmacy order. So you can put an end to the itch. Get flea and tick medication delivered right to your door.
Hi, we're Visible. Get set to travel this summer with a wireless plan that'll keep you connected on the go. All on a one-line plan with unlimited 5G data and hotspot for just $25 a month. From vacation to staycation, travel like a champion when you switch at Visible.com.
A promise is a trust not to be broken, whether spoken with an oath or sealed with a pinky. And after 100 years, we're still taking care of the military community and their families. That's our mission, always.
When the sawdust settles and the engine roars, the thing you care about is the job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels different. Your wallet. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Well, an opportunity for the Hamilton Tiger Cats to get into the win column. A 17-point lead here heading to the fourth and final quarter. And again, the passing yards jump out more than anything there after a big third quarter and the offense getting their hold. But this is, at this point, Dwayne, about just finding a way to close this thing out and charge up the stadium.
Yeah, exactly. And they've done a pretty good job of it, coming up with big plays when they needed it in the third quarter. And also doing a pretty good job running the ball. It seemed like James Butler got in a little bit of a flow in that third quarter. They're going to need him to be a big part of it in protecting this lead in the fourth.
And just like we've seen throughout much of the CFL this year, and really in the East, it's the running backs catching the ball out of the backfield that show up as passing yards. But they are all about just running back usage, finding creative ways to get them touches. We'll see how creative Toronto is, trying to rally around their big victory in Montreal last week and follow it up by beating Hamilton. As we begin the fourth, after the Argonauts touchdown, with a return by Janeri and Grant, but it was a pretty seamless effort from the Hamilton offense, and this big explosive play from Butler made all the difference.
Well, it's nice when you can throw a high percentage pass like a little swing route to your running back and have that turn into an explosion play, courtesy of James Butler. And Luther Hakanavanu with touchdown catch in his second consecutive game, getting a little more opportunity to play in this Hamilton offense as well.
Red Moon at night, Rolls to his left. Nice little move from Dukes all the way out to the 45. Should be about an 8 or 9 yard gain. See where they spot it, but again, using his legs as there's a flag down behind the play. The elusive quicks of Cameron Dukes on display, but frustration for the Argonauts.
There's no flag on the play.
And they wave it off after taking a quick look at it. I was about to say that there's been a lot of very Hamilton Tiger Cats type of penalties by the Argonauts, shooting themselves in the foot, backing themselves up in bad downs and distances. But that one they wave off, despite the fact that there were a series of those in the first half. Hamilton, for the most part, has gotten away from that tonight to their advantage here as Kadeem Carey wrapped up and tackled Kyle Wilson.
And Kyle Wilson having a pretty good night from his linebacker spot. This is a guy who spent the first few years of his career primarily backing up Simone Lawrence at the weak side linebacker spot, playing as a designated American, meaning he's playing a lot on special teams, occasionally getting some snaps on D.
Washington lets it up in the booth as Dukes looking to throw pressure on, shovels it underneath, pays the price, gets hit as he released it, as Nick Usher got one in. I'm not even sure Usher knew that the football was no longer in Duke's hand there, but regardless, incomplete.
Keep an eye on Nick Usher coming from his defensive end spot. Former Elk, Alouette, and Lion.
Well, the one that's interesting to me as well is Deontay Knight is on the field right now, the former Western Mustang. Started the year with Toronto, drafted by the Argos, but here he is in Hamilton, lined up at defensive tackle. As Dukes looks to throw over the middle, complete Richie Sindani. He's got to get to the Hamilton 54. They'll signal first down, paid the price, but got the yardage needed.
Yeah, I appreciate the awareness of Sindani on this one. Knowing that he couldn't bend this back, couldn't try to avoid anyone. Nice completion underneath and just ducks his head, get that first down yardage.
Dukes, quick slant. As Mackay Polk makes the grab on the Tiger Cats logo. They'll spot him at about the 47. And with 12 minutes and change remaining, Toronto starting to pick up the pace here, down by 17.
Well, got to churn out a few more plays given the time. The alternative.
Looking underneath, Tavares Daniels, and another first down. You were saying, Dwayne, yeah, they're trying to up the rate, right?
Well, that's it, and it's got to be either the rate or deeper attempts, right? And that's not their MO.
Yeah.
So they go into more of a tempo offense, trailing by 3 scores here.
As whistles blow, and trainers run off the sideline. And we have something from the Tiger Cats coaching staff, a challenge from Scott Milanovich, and what could he be challenging?
Hamilton is challenging that there was blocking downfield on the play before the pass was caught. We'll review the play.
And Milanovich, I guess, seeing that the pass wasn't completed behind the original line of scrimmage, and believing there was blocking downfield before the pass was completed. Take a quick look at it here. Yeah, probably DeMonte Coxie.
Yeah, that.
So Coxie down the field, blocking before it was completed. Scott Milanovich's coaching staff caught it up top. We'll take a look at it back in the command center with Dave Foxcroft, the replay official.
Built for the guy who has everything and needs to tow it. The Tow and Stow is equipped with multiple ball sizes and adjusts in 1-inch increments to the height of your trailer for level towing. Best of all, it stows when you aren't using it, away from your shins and garage door. Machined from American steel, with a 2-stage finish, the Tow and Stow is the last hitch you'll ever need.
When the sawdust settles and the engine roars, the thing you care about is a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels different. Your wallet. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
To the right now. Is the GPS playing the cha-cha slide?
Geico can help when you get a flat tire with their easy app and 24/7 help.
Everybody clap your hands.
Whatever you need, from coverage to service, get more with Geico.
Legal block downfield. Scott Milanovich, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, challenging, believing there was an illegal block. What do you got, Dwayne?
Yeah, you're going to keep an eye out wide. Top matchup on your screen is Coxie and Jamal Peters.
It feels like a bit of a reach maybe on that one, but
yeah, both.
We'll hear what the command center is determined.
After review by the command center, the ruling on the field stands. Be first down.
And you had that ball thrown behind the line of scrimmage, a screen pass, but I think even timing-wise, regardless of when the block came, I think they would have been clear on that one.
So we move on. The Argonauts in possession. Dukes looks over the middle of the field, goes out wide, and it's Janarian Grant. And again, Jamal Peters. Don't often say this about defensive backs, but easily the most physical player on the field here tonight.
Yeah, bringing a little something extra to every tackle tonight. Peters exploding into that hit.
And another whistle from the Tiger Cats sidelines. It looks like they're just resetting the football here. And they'll play 2nd down and 4 as Peters at the top of your screen. Again, lines up across from Janarian Grant. Deontay McMahon in the backfield with Cam Dukes. Pressure on, and down goes Dukes. DQ Thomas gets the sack.
Middle linebacker. Thomas, the man who comes up with the play here. Coming right from the top right corner of your screen, just times it up, hits that gap unblocked. A big defensive play there for Aquarius DeJuan Thomas. High school teammate of DeKalin Zacharias Metcalf, better known as DK. Oxford High School in Mississippi.
He of the Skittles and black coffee diet.
Yes.
And somehow one of the best bodies in the NFL on that diet. The crowd gets into it.
Time count violation. Toronto number 29. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
And the Argonauts volunteer a couple yards back. Ricky Donovan telling his special teams unit to relax as they will send back a 2-man return here for the Tiger Cats. Tim White will step back alongside Devon Harris.
And the desire here, cover the field so you can catch the ball in the air. Don't let John Haggerty get it on the ground, but it finds a way anyway.
He rumbles this one, and it bounces through the end zone. And so tag it on. The Argonauts bump themselves up to 11th. Haggerty's so good at pinning inside the 10 so far this season. Unable to do it there, but the defense stepping up big for Hamilton. Trying to find a way to win in the Hammer.
When you're the leader in disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen? Let it rain, Randy! Woo! Yes! By being prepared for anything! Woo!
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Whoa, Nelly. iPhone 15 with tons of storage. I really want one.
Yo, you've won 14 times on the LPGA Tour. Since when is one enough for you?
That is true.
Get your head out of the sand trap, switch to T-Mobile, and get 4 iPhone 15s on them. And 4 lines for just $25 a line. And you can save on every plan versus the other big guys.
Swing big at T-Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 15s on us and 4 lines for $25 a line.
4.
When the sawdust settles and the engine roars, the thing you care about is the job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels different. Your wallet. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
When I ride pulling in, I got you. Guess you up for the win. I got you. We a 10 out of 10. I got you. Best friend to the end. I got you. I got you.
This man living out the dream of Dwayne Ford. Every single one of the CFL stadiums in as short a period as possible. Chris Timofchuk trying to knock them all down. Dwayne, are you going to join for the journey?
I wish. Yeah, he's already impressed the hell out of me. I've been at this for 7 weeks. I've only been to 3 stadiums this year.
East Coast living. As Bo Levi Mitchell making his way east from Calgary. A long tenured career with the Stamps and trying to get the Tiger Cats into the win column here. Leaning on James Butler to help him get it done as JB9 fires up the black and gold sideline once again.
Yeah, no question, James Butler has become not just a heart and soul guy, but a leader on this Hamilton Tiger Cat team. We talked to him a few weeks ago, and he talked about the fact that, you know, the core has kind of turned over a little bit over these last couple of years, where last year guys like Simone Lawrence, Ted Laurent, longtime Tiger Cats were still here. Certainly great teammates, but now sort of like the team is under new leadership, and that's still developing.
And you know, Bo Levi Mitchell's locked in on what he's doing, doesn't even have his chin strapped up. Just trying to figure out the next play call, which on 2nd and 3 was a handoff and a minimal gain. As Coulter Woodmansey mixes it up behind the play. Brandon Revenberg helps his running back up onto his feet. It's hard to imagine that Rev, already his 8th year in the Canadian Football League, blocking at that left guard spot.
Yeah, Revenberg up to 2nd level on that one, getting after Jonathan Jones.
You see James Butler's numbers on the night. Scott Milanovic goes for a walk, checks in with his running back to see if he's all right. They won't go for it here with the 16-point lead. 8:44 remaining in the 4th and final quarter. So Constantino will kick it away, squaring himself up into the boundary, playing games with Janarian Grant. Nope, he'll go there. And Grant will attempt to catch it clean at his own 15. He does. Heads for the field side, and it gets turned back in. It goes backwards 5 yards after a 46-yard punt. And just like the night began, the special teams of the Hamilton Tiger Cats making a large difference in the outcome of this one.
And you got the sense that the Hamilton Tiger Cats cover unit was anticipating with the Argos in need of a big return that they were going to try and go wide side. They had that covered well, and with that slowing Grant down as he's trying to get out wide, Carthel Flowers Lloyd runs it down from the back.
And what do we have here?
Little Nick Arbuckle into the game at quarterback, the veteran. Formerly Bo Levi Mitchell's backup in Calgary.
Arbuckle with his first attempt, rips a curl route. DeMonte Coxey tucks it away and refuses to go down. Well, Arbuckle into the ball game.
And perhaps feeling with the veteran in there at a time when they need to be a little bit more aggressive. This is more within the wheelhouse of Arbuckle.
Arbuckle rips it out. Looks like he's fast friends with Demonte Coxey, who all of a sudden breaks 3 tackles and is down at the 45.
Well, still plenty of time left in this ball game, and what felt like a fairly innocuous single point on the punt by John Haggerty makes it a 2-possession game, and the Argos looking like they could threaten here.
24-yard gain that time to Coxey. Why not go back to the well? And he refuses to go down yet again. Coxey can't be stopped all of a sudden. You think of him as a jump ball guy, a deep ball receiver, but yards after catch, he adds 17 to the total.
You wonder, with some of the tackles being missed here by the Hamilton defense, if some of the fatigue of the Argos' physical run game through 3 quarters is having an effect.
Arbuckle rips it. Mackay Polk. 4 for 4 off the bench cold for Nick Arbuckle. Deep into Hamilton territory. That one for 14.
Yeah, Polk is just going to bend this one in. Timing route. Just delivery from Arbuckle. We get extension from the receiver. Sticks move again.
Fast and furious work from number 4. Arbuckle stands in, checks it down. Daniel Adebaboye makes 1 man miss. It was Kyle Wilson, then bounces up 2 and 3. And all of a sudden, the Hamilton Tiger Cats defense is absolutely reeling.
A terrific drive being put together here by Nick Arbuckle and the Toronto Argonaut offense. Adebaboye showing off his cheeks there.
What a drive from Arbuckle, but it won't mean anything unless they can cash in. He pumps to the left, comes back to the right. Is that backwards? There's no whistle.
They're going to let it play out.
If that's backwards, this is the longest celebratory wave to the Argos bench for a Richard Leonard house call. Fireworks go off. Ticats fans celebrate.
Well, no doubt they'll review this one.
After review by the command center, we have an incomplete pass.
Burned the fireworks budget for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, this play took long enough that the command center was able to start reviewing as the play was going on. You see, Arbuckle throws that one from the 25-yard line.
Well, full credit to replay official Dave Foxcroft in a time where people are constantly saying these reviews take too long. What's going on? He was done reviewing it before the play was even done. It was done and dusted, but man, was that ever close to being a Tiger Cats touchdown that would have completely wiped out all of a sudden's incredible momentum for the Argonauts.
And I'll tell you what my strategy would be right now if I'm Toronto, because none of the Argos chased Richard Leonard. Nobody on Toronto is tired. I'd go right after Leonard here after he just made that like 80, 90, or 90-yard run.
Well, the question now is Leonard even tired because he essentially speed walked to the end zone. So we'll see where they decide to go with it. But it was first down, first down, first down, first down. Second down conversion. Does Arbuckle have that up his sleeve? Let's find out. Pressure on, sidearms it. Oh, almost intercepted, incomplete. Tried to get it to Tavares Daniels, who sticks around to have a conversation alongside Kyle Wilson. And Ben Chapdelaine tells those two they've had enough of a conversation. Head back to your huddle, 3rd and 10. Argos offense stays on the field. Jump ball and touchdown. Toronto, Tavares Daniels. Arbuckle's picking himself up off the turf once again.
Offside, Hamilton 96. A penalty be declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
And the touchdown stands. Unbelievable work from Nick Arbuckle to jump off the bench for Cameron Dukes. Drives down the field, throws a touchdown pass, and pays the price.
Yeah, stands in here. For this one, Deontay Knight, his former teammate, showing no love there as he buries the Argo quarterback, but Arbuckle gets the last laugh with the touchdown pass to Devaris Daniels.
And the Argonauts will go for two here. And think about all the time that Ryan Dinwiddie spent with Nick Arbuckle in Calgary, the connections with Bo Levi and Mitchell when Arbuckle was Mitchell's backup in Calgary. They're matched up here. Might go down to the wire. Going for two. Arbuckle fades it up high. And it'll be incomplete. Intended for Devaris Daniels. But a uniquely Ticats Argos twist in events. It's not Labor Day yet, but the urgency and intensity ratcheted up as Nick Arbuckle into the game and Devaris Daniels into the end zone.
What's up with your dad, Chloe?
Ever since he got AT&T's best deal on the new Samsung Galaxy, he's been up on his high horse.
Best deal got me feeling like a big old cowboy.
That's a very high horse. Perhaps you can wait in the waiting room?
I'll just go wait in the waiting room.
Ride high with AT&T's best deal on the new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6.
On Chewy, save 35% off your first order. With selection for any pet with any diet at prices you'll love. Delivered fast, right to your door. For low prices and fast shipping, for life with pets. There's Chewy with everything.
Give your engine the attention it deserves with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Its advanced formulation delivers faster flow and temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions, elevating engine performance by helping it run cleaner, longer. Available now at Napa.
When the sawdust settles and the engine roars, the thing you care about is a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels different. Your wallet. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
A promise is a trust not to be broken, whether spoken with an oath or sealed with a pinky. And after 100 years, we're still taking care of the military community and their families. That's our mission, always.
Oh, you gotta love the CFL. We haven't seen Nick Arbuckle this year. He ends up coming in out of nowhere, 99 yards, just over 3 minutes, and the Argonauts have life here in the fourth quarter.
This drive went down the way they needed it to, very quickly, very efficiently, and ending with a touchdown. All that was missing was the two-point convert, which leaves us as a two-possession ball game.
Devaris Daniels, as cool as ever in his office, getting the major for the Argonauts. So 27-17. Liram Haralahu drills this one. Looked like he almost tried to split the returners. And it will be Harris across the 30. Stutters his feet. Daniel Adebaboy is not going to let him out of those grips. And down around the 30-yard line. As Ryan Dinwiddie in the history of Calgary quarterbacking. A long-standing weaving history of Dinwiddie's work in some of these numbers. I mean, the consistency is great, but the touchdown to interception ratios and the guys that have gone through the system and the things that Dave Dickinson has done, it's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, an impressive room, right? When you think about the group of people together in Calgary, starting with John Huffnagel, now the team president, but had been the general manager and head coach, longtime former quarterback. Dave Dickinson as head coach, Ryan Dinwiddie, Mark Mueller, all former quarterbacks. And then you throw Bo Levi Mitchell into the mix.
Oh, Royce Mechie just tosses James Tuck, the fullback, out of bounds. And you know who the offensive assistant is for the Argonauts this year as well? That's some guy named Drew Tate.
Yeah, not a bad collection.
A gain of 12 for James Tuck here. And Little game of leverage right there from Royce Mechie. Outmatched size-wise, but tosses tuck. And the Hamilton offense, Bo Levi Mitchell, happy to drain the play clock as much as possible here. Now motion Keandre Smith and Tim White. Inside handoff, James Butler. And it'll leave Bo lots of work to do on 2nd and long.
Timeout, Toronto.
Argonauts no doubt anticipating first down run at this stage of the ball game. And that time they were ready for the Butler.
Dinwiddie just hoping he gets the football back as quickly as possible. You know, he's looking at the play sheet and theorizing, hypothesizing. What are we going to run? How are we going to do this with Nick? Can we possibly get the ball back in decent field position? And that man, Bo Levi Mitchell, trying to close out this ball game and break that young man's heart.
That's a secondary goal.
Right, yeah. The winning would be the most important.
Yes.
So max protection for Bo. Pressure on. He steps out and still brought down Jake Ceresna. So the Toronto defense on 2nd and 9 gets a sack. And now Janarian Grant looms large, waiting for the punt.
And here you see Jake Ceresna, great get off from his D tackle position, straight bull rush against Coulter Woodmansey. Collapsing that pocket, finishing with the sack.
And of course, as you expect from a 6'5", 291-pound defensive tackle, a casual and athletic barrel roll. That makes him look like he's 6 foot 180. That he is not. Janarian Grant stands at his own 22-yard line. Constantino, beautiful spiraling boot, will drive Grant back 7 yards to his own 15. Shakes one man, makes another miss. He's off to the races. Nobody will catch him. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown Argos, right back into the ball game. He loomed large and he delivered.
Janarian Grant. Just a phenomenal play, but phenomenal timing. You asked him this week about which return he likes best. Wide side, short side, or when you take one right back up the middle on him. Yeah, he's going to love this one. His favorite, right back into the teeth of the coverage team.
Well, he said he loves splitting it and going right down the middle. And the reason? It's the ultimate sign of respect. They're so scared you're going to beat them to the field side. They're so scared you're going to sneak it down the boundary that they just forget to leave the middle of the field open for you. And he did it against Montreal last week. He's done it here again on an all-time heater. The 3rd touchdown in 3 weeks for number 3.
Geico can help when you get a flat tire with their easy app and 24/7 help.
To the right now. To the left.
Oh, to the left. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Is the GPS playing the cha-cha slide? Now it's time to get funky. Funky's not a direction. To the right now. To the left.
Go to the right. Right.
Freeze. Everybody clap your hands.
Whatever you need, from coverage to service, get more with Geico.
Hi, we're Visible. Get set to travel this summer with a wireless plan that'll keep you connected on the go. All on a one-line plan with unlimited 5G data and hotspot for just $25 a month. From vacation to staycation, travel like a champion when you switch at Visible.com.
And we'll take a look back at that return by Janarian Grant. Monster play in this game. First 3 men downfield. Outside guys are trying to get as deep as the football to contain this. Grant just threatens outside to push Carthel Flowers Lloyd wide. 56-yard kick. Everyone else is not that deep. That leaves the middle open when you widen that first man down. Janarian Grant makes him pay.
3-point ball game inside 3 minutes remaining. Flags come up as Harris gets wrapped up by Teodric Hansen, chasing the play down from behind. As Janarian Grant kind of like going to the casino and hitting every single 21 that you possibly can over a 3-week stretch. Now 11 in his career, and I got a feeling Earl and Keith might be holding that spot by themselves for only a couple more weeks.
Yeah, just unreal these last few weeks for Janarian Grant. Think about the terrific season put together last year by Javon Leake as the Argonauts' primary returner. He moves to Edmonton in free agency. That's a pretty good replacement. Plugged into Mickey Donovan's Argonaut return unit.
Argos show blitz. Mitchell goes hard count. Cat and mouse here inside 3 minutes remaining. Toronto sends pressure. Mitchell rolls to his right, complete. Hit made, wrapped up to Sean Amos on Tim White. They'll give forward progress for a gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. And when you're the Hamilton Tiger Cats, your biggest thing right now, I mean, obviously, you need at least a couple of first downs because you don't, if you're going to end up kicking this ball back to them, you can't give them this short a field for starters, and then obviously keeping that clock moving.
Mitchell again finds Tim White. He's got room. The man they call the cheetah. Quick on his toes across the 30 for a gain of 16 and the Tiger Cats first down.
Yeah, and that is a huge first down for Tim White and the Hamilton Tiger Cats. 2nd and long, Argos sitting back a little bit. Easy completion, then White showing off his after-catch abilities.
Play clock rolls inside 10 seconds. Game clock nears 90. Toronto just wants the football back. 1st and 10, hand up. James Butler wrapped up. Tackle for loss on the play of about a yard. And the last time that they had 2nd and long, it ended up in Bo Levi Mitchell getting sacked by Jake Serezda. He's going to have to face that reality once again in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, you can just feel the momentum shifting. It's been the Argos offense with Nick Arbuckle in a drive. Argos special teams and Janarian Grant. And the defense just feeding off of that right now.
6 straight losses you see there to the Argonauts, 10 of the last 11, dating back to 2021. Ryan Dinwiddie and the Argonauts have had the number of Hamilton. You know Tiger Cats fans are just dreading the idea of them finding a new way to lose here in what's already been an 0-5 tough start to the season. Mitchell loads it up, centers the feet, and he'll go down. Gives himself up with Parrish flying in on the backside. Winston McManus and the defense will get off the field, so not only does Toronto get possession back, but they give up a couple of yards as well, trying to move the pocket.
Yeah, Jared Brinkman, the injured Argo, saw him grabbing his ankle at the end of that play.
Obviously never want to speculate, but he immediately grabbed in that lower calf area that it always scares you when it comes to Achilles and ankles. Jake Serezna there on a knee, looking over his defensive line teammate, whose parents make the drive up from Iowa City all the time. A couple weeks ago, Kenzie Lalong had a great story on their parents making the drive all the time as we get set for week 7 of the CFL on TSN. It wraps up tomorrow as the Lions head to Calgary to take on the Stamps. You can tune in at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN and see whether or not Justin McInnes can continue his wild ways of late. And of course, the great Wally Buono being honored and near and dear to your heart. Dwayne spending lots of time with Wally and the Stamps.
Yeah, no question. Wally, my coach for 7 years. Went to 4 Grey Cups together, won a couple of them. Obviously, the greatest coach in CFL history. The record says it, but having played for him, spent that time with him, I can vouch personally, yeah, the best coach you could ever hope to have. Congratulations to Wally, and thank you.
Well-deserved honor, and great to have Calgary and BC. Not only a great game, but obviously the history of Wally's career intertwined. And we'll see what Jake Mara and Vernon Adams Jr. can do, and that one is that man has already had a huge impact on this ball game. Good to see Jared Brinkman make his way to the sideline. Constantino hangs this one again, a monster boot. This time decides to go to the field, and Grant drops it. It's on the turf, rolling around, and who's got it at the bottom of the pile?
Well, Grant providing excitement of a different kind here.
Toronto. Somehow, the ball comes up in the wake arms of Patrick Burke Jr. is only on the roster here tonight because Stavros Katsatonis was a game-time decision. He couldn't go. That look says it all.
Yeah, take a closer look. That one slips through Grant's hands.
Ruling on the field,
Lloyd.
the ball was recovered by Toronto.
Looked like Mason Pierce got on top of that one underneath the pile, but Flowers Lloyd, always the first man down the field for Hamilton, was the guy who prevented Janarian Grant from making the recovery.
Oh, I'm having fun! That's what that Ticats band said. Well, here comes the noise. Tim Hortons Field is about to make life as difficult as possible for Nick Arbuckle after he shredded them on his first drive of the ballgame. A chance to play hero thanks to Janarian Grant's massive punt return touchdown. And the defense getting some sacks. Arbuckle, one pass, one completion, and a first down on first down, just like he began his first drive.
And Mackay Polk stepping up with the reception across the middle on this one. There's been a lot of DeMonte Coates since Arbuckle came into the game. We'll keep an eye on him.
In at 14, Arbuckle rips this one, back shoulder. Did he haul it in and get a foot in bounds? They'll say no, incomplete. Went back to the well with Coates, the third-year man out of Memphis. Did everything he could to hold
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Second down.
Coates would have been out of bounds regardless. Looked like he wasn't even expecting that ball, but just reacted when it was sailing his way.
It's incredible how Argos is seeing and coming in cold off the bench. The Argos can't challenge anything. They have no timeouts left, so wipe that out of the potentialities in this wild matchup between Toronto and Hamilton. This ball tipped. It ends up in the hands of Richie Sindani. Not the intended receiver, but it picks up a couple of yards. It looks like maybe they'll give about 3, play third and 7.
Now Dwayne Hendricks gets a piece of that football on the rush.
Arbuckle deep drop, loads it up, finding a home run to Kosi. The feet come together, and it will be accidental pass interference, likely the call. And the drama here in Hamilton is who else? It's Jamal Peters, the ex-Argo.
Accidental pass interference. Hamilton number 2. It's a 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's the important part, the automatic first on 3rd and 7.
Yeah, that's big. Matchup is the one at the bottom of your screen. Coxie and Peters. And you take a shot. As the saying goes, 2 of the 3 things that can happen are good for the offense, right? One of them being a flag. Fortunate and the right call that it is ruled accidental. As you said, Toronto benefits by getting a first down on 3rd and 7. But a spot foul would have moved them into field goal range, obviously, in this three-point game.
Tiger Cats pass rush was so dominant to open this ball game. Former Argos all over that line. Benoit Marion, Dwayne Hendricks, can any of them get pressure on Arbuckle? He stands in, flips this one high and away. In and around Sindani, but the coverage exceptional that time from Jonathan Moxey, 2nd and 10 from the Toronto 50.
Casey Sales. Just keeps working on that one to get a piece of the Argo quarterback.
8 seconds remaining. Can they get it to field goal range? Run up and kill the clock to give Liram Hairolahu an opportunity.
And bear in mind, working against the wind, it's going to take a little longer pass to get in that field goal range.
Hard count, and then Mackay Cook went offside, and that'll back them up even further.
The noise of this crowd being an issue for the Argo offense.
Well, it's not Labor Day yet. Sure as heck feels like it here at Tim Hortons Field.
Offside, Toronto number 15. That penalty be declined. He's second down. Clock will start on my whistle.
8 seconds remaining, and they got to get on the football here. Nick Arbuckle immediately saying it's time to go. Whistled it in.
Well, this is the last play.
And Warren at the line of scrimmage. He should have been there and ready to snap it. But Tom Valesi whistled it in regardless. 0's on the clock. Final play, barring a penalty. Heaving it down the sideline. Coxey. Incomplete. And by the Ticats clause, they eke out a victory, their first of the season. And just like back in 2017 when Hamilton began 0-8, it's a home victory over the Toronto Argonauts. It is the tonic that puts a 1 in the win column.
Yeah, a rather large monkey off the back of the likes of Scott Milanovic, Bo Levi Mitchell, the rest of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. They talked about getting off to a better start. Mission accomplished. And it was just enough to carry them through to a 3-point victory.
And the East Division begins to East Division. As Toronto beats Montreal in Montreal and the winless Tiger Cats then beat the Argonauts. Ottawa right in the middle of that fray. But Bo Levi Mitchell, after losing 7 straight starts, finds a way to win thanks in large part a blocked punt early on, the defense making a couple of big stops and surviving right to the very end. What would you expect? Anything else? It's the Ticats, it's the Argos. It always ends this way. The Lions, the Stampeders tomorrow at 7 o'clock on TSN CBS Sports Network, of course. Looking forward to seeing them round things out and honor the great Wally Buono. For Paul LaPolice down on the sidelines, my partner Dwayne Ford, I'm Marshall Ferguson. Thanks so much for joining us Saturday night from the Hammer.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking about our honeymoon. What about Africa? Safari. Hot air balloon ride. Swim with elephants.
Wait, can we afford a safari? Great question. Like everything, takes a little planning.
Or put the money towards a down payment.
On a ranch?
In Montana.
With horses.
Let's take a look at those scenarios.
JP Morgan Wealth Management has advisors in Chase branches and tools like Wealth Plan to help keep you on track. When you're planning for it all, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Car dealership again?
Yeah, we're just haggling over the price. It's all part of the game, it's fine.
Sue, was it fine being a WNBA champ once? No, you won it 3 more times.
But it's fine to haggle? Well, you could just go to CarMax where everyone gets the same price.
You're right. Stop calling me!
Did I call the right number?
I was just trying to see if you were coming to the game tonight.
Or not.
Oh, Chennai! Hey, yeah, I'll be there.
Never settle on the lot or on the court. CarMax.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking
About our honeymoon.
What about Africa? Safari. Hot air balloon ride. Swim with elephants.
Wait, can we afford a safari? Great question. Like everything, takes a little planning.
Or put the money towards a down payment.
On a ranch
In Montana.
with horses.
Let's take a look at those scenarios.
JP Morgan Wealth Management has advisors in Chase branches and tools like Wealth Plan to help keep you on track. When you're planning for it all, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
I love my kids, but I also love not being broke. So this back to school season, I'm just gonna spend less on them. Amazon has low prices on everything kids need. Like a water bottle they definitely won't lose. Tablets, sports stuff, for whatever sport this is. All the latest, lit, Rizzy Riz clothes. And lunch boxes for a homemade meal that they'll barely touch. What? So spend less on your little freeloaders with Amazon.
Well, another beautiful evening in San Diego as we gear up for the California Clash Summer Cup edition. The San Diego Wave host Bay FC at Torero Stadium, and we are just about ready to kick off. Alongside former Man United keeper Gary Bailey, I'm Maura Sheridan. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. San Diego in their Del Sol kits, in gray kits, that's Bay FC. Not the usual home for San Diego. Usually they play at Snapdragon Stadium or here at Torero.
What's up, insiders? Thanks for joining us for this Argos game against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The Ticats are struggling this season. The Argos are doing well. Let's see how this one goes. Thanks for joining us. Please hit that like button down below and share this link out on the social networks and drop a follow as well at TS Insider on Twitter or X, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, however you do it. Share this link out. That's how we get more Argos fans here in the chat. Thank you all. Much appreciated. Let's get back to cheering the Argos on as we take on the Tiger Cats. See you in the chat. Let's go Argos.
There's a number of big changes, isn't there, for Bay FC? A lot of good youngsters, and Albertine Montoya saying to us he was super excited about seeing these rookies come in and get a chance in the first team. It's not going to be easy up against the San Diego side with Alex Morgan. Maybe a point to prove, having not been called up for the USA Olympic team. The first time in, what, 17, 18 years that she hasn't been involved in the national team. So you can expect San Diego on the front foot to cause Bay FC a whole bunch of problems here this evening.
Take a look at the starting 11 for San Diego. You mentioned Alex Morgan, Maria Sanchez, and Colaprico will lead the charge.
So many big names in that side. Hillary Beale in goals for Caitlin Sheridan, who's with Canada. Kennedy Wesley in for Naomi Germer. Elise Bennett gets a start. Of course, Jaden Shaw away at the Olympics. And as you mentioned, Alex Morgan with a point to prove to those who didn't invite her to Paris.
And this is a starting 11 for Bay FC on the road tonight.
Emmy Allen in goals for Caitlin Rowland is on the bench. Jordan Brewster gets a first start, centre-back pairing with Jem Beattie. Jamie Shepherd, just a third appearance. She's in that number 6 role. Maya Doms, first start this year in left midfield. Caroline Conti starts on that right-hand side. And they're playing Castellanos as a false 9 up front. That's something that Albertine Montoya is playing around with here tonight to see how it works.
McNabb, now Sanchez for San Diego, puts in a cross. Bennett on the end of that, just couldn't get a shot off against Allen. Westfall. Colaprico. Lowers her shoulder and gets some contact there.
Colaprico, such an important player in this team, good at driving into the box as we see there, and both players pushing each other. In the end, Colaprico not able to control the ball, but they picked a really strong side. San Diego, Paul Buckle, the interim coach, And the reason why, I would think, and probably the obvious reason, they've had no wins in 9, and he's keen to turn things around. A win here today, a good run in this tournament, and who knows what platform that will build for San Diego Wave.
Yeah, you mentioned the last win, May 8th, a 2-0 victory over Utah. It's been such a long time coming for San Diego. There's been a lot of changes, of course. The biggest one, Casey Stoney was let go from her position as head coach. Interim Paul Buckle comes in, and in the 2 games that he's coached, it's been 2 losses for San Diego. First 3-0 to Chicago, and then 1-0 to Portland. But they've actually been shut out in 3 straight games now, dating back to a draw against Houston.
To be fair, the loss against Chicago was probably their best expected goals that they had all season. 2.15. I think Coach Paul Buckle saying, well, really on the day, we should have actually got at least a draw out of that match. A couple of defensive errors they were punished for.
Sanchez wide with it, puts it across, Doniak, and a shot put on. Bennett